Listener discretion advised. Adult language and mature content.
Welcome back to Two Queens, One Screen. I'm Jen.
I'm Keeley.
And we took a little break and we are back with so many things. We have a lot of ground to cover today.
Oh, so much.
All fun stuff though. And if you are watching the video, you can see that Keeley has a theme and it is Halloween.
Halloween, it's the month of October. Yeah.
Halloween decorations are kind of our thing. I make my decorations based on Over the Garden Wall, and I added a glowing eyes beast that I'm really proud of. I'll link it on TikTok or something. Keeley has an epic skeleton man that's climbing out of your garden.
Yeah, out of the ground. Yeah.
And he's got eyes and he talks to you.
Yeah. And
it's huge. Is it taller than you are? Like him, his torso and head.
Yes.
Taller than you are.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes.
We love Halloween.
We do love Halloween.
And to get us into the mood for that, do you have an update for your witch?
My Etsy witch.
Your Etsy witch?
Yes. So I ordered a spell from an Etsy witch. And I felt really good about it. I had did a little research that a couple of them were scams. And they were like the spell for like $1 or $2. And this one had an actual person's face on it and an address, physical address. And hers was $20. And I thought, okay, this is really good. I had seen some reviews. Everybody really liked it. And in the reviews and in the videos, she sends a candle and some other ingredients to create the spell and tells you what to do. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. So I asked her for something personal for me. So I didn't want to curse anybody or find out anything from the future. I just asked her for kind of a wellness type generality for me.
Okay.
Without saying specifically. And so, it took maybe not quite a week to get back to me, but I am bummed out because I didn't actually get the items. She did all the spell and recorded it and talked on the video and then sent me the video, which is fine.
Okay. All right. I see now.
Which is fine. You go on, the side of TikTok where they have tarot cards and witches and other of those intuitive things. And you just talk to a person or you see a video too. So I was a little let down because I guess I didn't quite understand how she was doing it, but she had a candle that she had etched my name and my birthday in. And she had put certain gemstones around it. I don't remember what they were. And then certain herbs kind of around the gemstones in this little metal steel dish that the candle was in. And so she lit the candle and talked about mostly in generalities, which was fine. And then said, I will come back when the candle has fully burned down and we'll see how well it does. And she said in the video, if the candle doesn't burn correctly, it means it was something like not to expect, it just meant something bad. It wasn't going correctly. Yeah. But she came back and she said, my candle burned down perfectly. And it did. I've never seen a candle burn perfectly through.
Evenly all the way down.
Evenly through. And there was this teeny tiny little bit of wax, just this minute little piece of wax at the end. She goes, my God, you burned perfectly. This is wonderful. This is going to happen for you. And all these other things. So it was good. The video was probably 5 or 6 minutes long. I was just a little bit let down, which is fine It wasn't a scam. I just was expecting, I guess, a little bit more, and that's okay. I really liked her. Yeah. She did say a disclaimer saying that Etsy in 2026 is going to get rid of what she does. They won't allow her to do that anymore. They used
to say it's for entertainment purposes only, and I think then they're actually gonna get rid of it totally.
Yeah, so she said if you want another one or a follow-up, she would give me a follow-up for free before 2026. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna do that or not. But it was good, just a little disappointing. I was more worried about getting scammed than Like I wasn't wishing for someone to die or anything, you know what I mean? But
you didn't curse anybody? You didn't?
No. I didn't curse anybody or...
that Jezebel writer did that. And so we're all, treading carefully on that front now. I did something a little different. I keep getting these live streams getting suggested to me on TikTok. And there was a woman that was like, doing Reiki, and my stepmom is actually a practitioner of Reiki, and she's been doing it for years, and she's offered to do it for me, but I haven't, it's never worked out. I'm going to do it at some point, but I always have kids with me, or there's an event happening, or like, I don't have a ton of free time to go just spend the day there, and they don't live close, so it's like a drive. But I do plan on taking her up on it at some point. But I know that my stepmom has like made serious change for people, like my dad's best friend, who I would say is probably in a lot of ways very similar to my dad. You've heard stories about, I don't want to say his name, but I'll just bleep it. Kevin, my dad's best friend, Kevin.
Oh, yes.
Fannin. Okay. Yes. Des did Reiki on Kevin Fannin, and like, she's not touching him. He's like laying on a table, and she's like not touching him, but she's like pulling energy off around his body. And then there was all of a sudden, she felt all of this energy and all this heat. And then Kevin felt like intense burning, and then like a pop, and like I don't remember if it like healed his back or what, but like it was this big thing. He ended up buying her this very fancy table for her to work on, and like was super grateful about it. And like Dad, I don't know if Dad's something, but it's something that I go, for me, it's a touchstone of like, that's a thing that I believe. I don't understand it, but I like give value, weight, respect to it, right? Whereas like there's other things that like maybe I don't take as seriously. I go, yeah, that's a real thing. So I saw this girl on TikTok live, and she's like, I'm doing Reiki, and she's talking, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. But I was just like,
does she do that? I don't know how she does that. Okay, sorry.
Okay. She's wearing this like, and I'm not going to say names, not naming names. She's wearing this thing on her hand that's like a wire ring, but then the wire does this like swirly thing on her hand, and she's got rings that have like different crystals and things on them. And I know that like with Reiki, sometimes there are wands and crystals and vibrations and things. Yeah. And then she's like, okay, we're going to begin. And then she starts pulling energy where she's taking her hands and waving them at the camera. Okay. And she's pulling strings, and she's pulling different energies from you, and she's cleansing this energy from you. And it's I felt like a snake being snake charmed. Ooh. I got kind of dizzy. No, I did not like it. I was not a fan. I was like, what are you doing? I felt like she was just doing like rave dancing. She was kind of explaining it, but also not. So like maybe you have to go in there with knowledge of what's going on. But she was like, and like she never totally, in these lives, it's hard for them to, I guess, always acknowledge. I think there were like not even 40 people in this live. Okay. And people weren't all talking. Yeah. But like she didn't really acknowledge that I sent her like angel wings that cost $6. Yeah. And she was like, I'm pulling I'm pulling the negative energy. I'm feeling this. There's like this aura. And she was just using buzzwords. So I'm going to say thumbs down for me personally on TikTok Reiki healing for now.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't know how you would get that for a certain person. I understand the tarot cards. I really like that. Yeah. And they are really good at answering every single person on their live, whoever it is. Yeah. And they will pick a person, shuffle the cards, restart the cards over and over and over again for each person. They don't, so you can kind of, I guess, like, put it together.
I just felt like she wasn't tuned in. I don't know. I think Reiki needs to be more focused. Like it's even though you can do it, I know that it is something that people can do from completely different places. Mm-hmm. And that you're hitting an energy connection somehow. I just felt like this is not the medium for that. And I didn't appreciate it. And so as far as that goes, not my favorite kind of witchery. No TikTok Reiki for me going forward.
Okay.
But in the Halloween spirit, I have started watching all of my scary shows and scary movies. Started Over the Garden Wall, which is a must watch if you have kids. I think it's on Hulu right now.
I think so. Yeah.
It's just magical. It's a mini series and it's so good. And even if you don't have kids and you just want something kind of fun and lighthearted and vintage Halloween spooky, but very low stakes, I would say that's a good one.
Yeah.
But we also, Matt and I watched Bring Her Back over the weekend, and it's genuinely fucked us up. You've seen it too, right?
I love that show.
Okay.
Yes. My husband and I went to the movie theater to see it when it came out, and he actually convinced me to go see it. I was not wanting to see it in the theater. I thought, I'm not really sure about this one, or just wait till it comes out on stream. It'll probably be out tomorrow anyway. He was like, no, I really want to see this. This looks really, really good. And he is not like that. He doesn't like horror movies. He doesn't like anything scary. I have to drag him to watch a scary movie, or convince him of something if he watches it with me. So I really liked this show a lot.
I thought it was really, really good. But I think it traumatized my husband.
He's so sensitive. He's just fragile, like a snowflake.
And one of the things about it that he brought up is that the main character in this is this mom who has lost her daughter.
Yes.
And her daughter drowned. And Matt said that he empathized the most with her, and he felt like he was seeing this whole progression of events. We won't spoil the movie, but like the whole thing he watched from her point of view, because he was like, it's a horror movie, but really it's like your worst nightmare as a parent is losing a child. And so he saw himself there, where she's a foster mom to these two kids after her daughter passes. And I felt like, as I was watching the movie, I felt like I was the older brother. Because I felt like that was the perspective we were going through. Mm-hmm. And then there's the younger sister who's blind, who has a lot in common with the daughter that died.
Yeah. Yeah. And the brother and sister are very, what's the word? They're the characters that you can, empathize with and get behind, and really want them to, win in the end or whatever, that kind of a thing. And so they were good people. Brother and sister are good people.
Yeah.
And I told you that I watched it through the daughter, the sister, the blind sister's eyes.
Like you felt you were her perspective.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting. I need someone to dissect. Why are we picking the characters that we pick?
I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know. I did not expect, of course I'm a dum-dum, I didn't expect the twist. in the movie. I was not waiting for that to happen. I didn't pick up on that at all.
I feel like there were several twists.
Yeah.
It's really good, but it's very dark. And there's not a significant amount of gore. This isn't it's not like Chainsaw Massacre, but the gore that they have, I had to like not look and I couldn't watch. There's like a couple things that I was like,
sure.
Like when he's trying to feed him parts of the melon, couldn't do it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Any other horror movies that anyone suggests watching? Oh, I also saw Toxic Avenger. I don't know that's not really a horror movie.
Okay.
So good. Peter Dinklage. It's a remake of the Toxic Avenger from the 80s.
Okay.
Really, really, really good.
Okay.
But it's like comic book, very, very gory.
Okay.
Very, very violent. But they made a whole bunch of money and the proceeds went to paying off people's medical debt.
Okay.
Yeah. So very cool.
Okay.
That one's a fun one.
Yeah.
But yeah, any other ones that you would recommend, let us know. Anything else that you have gotten into for the holidays?
Oh my gosh. I made Steve watch all 3 the Terrifier movies because I love Art the Clown. And
I haven't watched any of them.
Don't. If you can't handle the gore and bring her back, no. That's a no. Don't watch these. They are extraordinarily gory. I mean, you watch Terrifier, the first one, and there's a horrendously gory scene, and you're thinking, okay, they can't top that, and he does in the second one, and then they do again in the third one. I mean, it just gets worse and worse. And the problem that my husband has with me is that I tend to laugh when this stuff happens. He's like, you are not right in the head. He is cutting off her head. He's cutting her in half and you are laughing. I'm like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But he gets so like in himself. He's like scared and you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I don't know. So we see the movie in different perspectives.
You're watching it in totally different ways.
Yeah. And he just gets a little disturbed that I giggle at it. I made him watch those. I finally watched an old one called Trick or Treat, which was terrible. Don't watch that one.
Oh, the one where it's like the night of Halloween and it's like a whole bunch of different stories kind of interwoven. I was not a fan of Anna Paquin.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But there are people that are obsessed with it.
Makes sense to me at all. Yeah.
The little scarecrow baby.
Where did he come from? Where's his origin? We don't know. Yeah. What's happening? I need to know these things. So we watched that.
I told you to watch Vamps, and then I started Vamps, and I got maybe 10 minutes in.
Okay, didn't watch it.
Don't bother.
Okay.
Sorry, Alicia Silverstone. It's really bad.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're doing in my house is watching scary movies. But again, it helps me sleep, makes me feel relaxed, and I laugh because I laugh.
It's a release for something.
I guess it is.
For some reason.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
And let's just all be glad that she's watching that and not actually running around murdering people. Good job, Keeley.
Right, that is true. That's very true.
So, other things that we've been watching is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is a great season. I love it. I love it so much.
Yes.
When we finish talking, we're actually going to talk about 2 episodes, but we're just going to hit our highlights.
Yeah, super
and quick. Mostly just kind of talk about our feelings about things.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we're done, I think you and I need to do, or should we just do it in the beginning?
Sure.
Who do you like? Who do you not like? Has any of your feelings about anybody changed?
Absolutely not. I'm still Lisa Bart, Team Lisa. I cannot stand Whitney. I'm hating her even more.
Really?
Yes. And I still hate Bronwyn. I can't. And I have thoughts about her and her mom. So,
okay. So we're going to dive into that.
I will say I'm upset at Whitney more because last week's episode, they were installing the stripper pole back in her room or her house or something. Mm-hmm. And she was trying really too hard to turn her husband on, turn Justin on, and it wasn't working.
They're a little disconnected. They're a little disconnected right now. Yeah.
And it was super fucking annoying to listen to her talk about basically herself, how she had lost herself and she used to be fun and wild and sexy and she would get tattoos and piercings and that led to Justin getting fired. No, it didn't. The other thing you did, Whitney Rose, led to your husband getting fired, and she won't say it on camera. And
doing the sexy paint scene?
Yes, doing that on television got him fired, not her getting a tattoo. So she's lying and she's doing all of this shit to get attention. She drives me insane. This is not authentic for her. It's not genuine. She's trying to get attention. And fine, have attention. There are people out there, I am not one of them, that crave attention, that need you to look at them all the time, that have to have somebody talking about them all the fucking time. They want to tell you everything in their life, and I can't handle that. I'm not friends with people like that. I don't give a shit about people like that. I don't want to know you. So
other than me, I am the exception of the rule.
Other than you, you're the exception. But I'm just saying, you don't act like her. She drives me insane. Everything has to be about her.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think Whitney is flailing.
Yeah.
I think that she is on the road to figuring things out, but I think she thinks she's farther along than she really is.
Yes,
and
that's good.
I think that I'm not a full Whitney Rose apologist, but I did like her on Watch What Happens Live.
Oh.
You didn't like that?
No. Can you put some clothes on, please? I'm so tired of looking at her tits.
I would wear that.
No, I get that. That's totally fine.
She does have her boobies out. Do you know who else has her boobies out? Is Meredith Marks. Oh. And she must have gotten another one of her boobie surgeries because they look so fucking good. High and tight. Lifted and separated.
See, I'd rather look at Meredith. You know why? Because she doesn't go, look at me, look at me, look at me, and point to herself and talk about her boobs. And she doesn't do that
Well,
stuff.
She does all of it quietly. But also loudly, but just visually.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I see what you're saying. I understand why. I think it's just that you two are never going to mesh.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Whitney Rose is, I mean, look at her hair. She's going through shit.
Looks like Chucky. I hate
she
it.
hasn't Chucky. She hasn't totally figured it all out yet. And I think she isn't taking all of the responsibility that she needs to yet. And I thought that it was a little bit shitty that she was putting some of it on her husband when that really didn't seem fair.
Yeah.
So I hope they get I'm looking for more growth from her, but I'm not totally down on I think that we're making more progress, but I think she's also like, as sweet as it was, we're going to talk about both episodes. The second episode being the one that was just her lunch.
Yeah.
You and I already said this to each other, but we'll say it for the pod. Thank you so much, Bravo, for doing an episode that was all in one location.
Yes, it was amazing.
Loved it. So good. The one that we're going to talk about before, which I guess is episode 7, because we're still counting those old Watch What Happens lives. I know some people loved it. Some people loved that they did the Watch What Happened live as episodes intermingled with it. Not a fan. It is a first world problem. This is where we come to talk about it. I have not called my congressman. I can talk about it on here if I want to.
Yep. This is why I have a podcast, to talk about
That's
it.
what I do. So
if you don't want to listen, turn it off. How about that?
But please don't, because I need someone to pay attention to me. So let's just go back to the Petty Little Liars episode. The first one is we're just finishing. They've stretched Lisa's lunch, her clarity lunch, over the course of this. Yeah. And Whitney has, like, we thought that she was going to punch her and then she didn't.
Yeah.
And then Lisa's going after Angie and about what Angie's business is, the franchises versus salons that she owns. Technically on this subject, Angie's saying, like, I have 10 salons or however many. And it's really, she has 3, but she's franchised out salons.
Yeah.
Technically, they're Angie's salons, but people have bought franchises from her. I think that's like McDonald's. But Angie is the first McDonald's. I think what Angie's saying is correct. And then Angie has the sweet line. She's like, you do French fries, I do franchise. Mary fucking loved that.
Yeah.
And that's where I figured out, I don't remember Mary being done with Lisa. But I'm realizing through this episode, next episode, I didn't realize Mary's done with Lisa. Did you know that before going into this?
I knew that. Yeah, I knew that.
What did I forget?
It was last season. I don't remember specifically, but there was Meredith, was it last season Meredith had her bat mitzvah? There was that. It was one of those events. Something happened at an event, and I can only think of Meredith's bat mitzvah. Anyway,
but something happened. Season. I didn't realize that Mary held on to that. She's still mad. So, that didn't feel great.
Maybe it was a couple of seasons ago. Remember when Mary had the party at her house? And
that's when she was mad at Meredith, though, not at Lisa.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I don't think Lisa went to that. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
Lisa went to that. But you're right. She was mad at Meredith then.
If anyone knows, send me a little note.
Anyway.
Because I don't have time to look it up. I should Google it. But yeah, that was like a revelation for me. When she was like, really liked the French fries franchise line. And then, so the important parts of this fight, because Lisa Angie is just never going to end, is what we've realized. I feel like everyone else is going to be willing to sort out their shit. Lisa Angie won't.
Yeah.
Is, I think, what we're going to learn. But somehow, like, as they're getting into Angie's business and Lisa and Angie are going at each other, Angie brings up Fresh Wolf, which was like the hair and grooming stuff that her boys created.
Yeah. And
she's like, that's a C-list thing or a C line. It should be at Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
Which actually, you would be so lucky. If you're selling your product at Walmart, good for you.
I would buy it.
I mean, good for it. If those kids had a product in Walmart and it was all over the country, that would be amazing. I don't know why we're shitting on that.
Yeah.
Because if it's in a high-end salon, you're not just getting it anywhere. But whatever. But that like struck a chord. Now we've officially brought our kids into it, even though in Angie's mind she didn't.
Yeah.
She did. You did, Angie. Bring the kids into it. And so Lisa sees red and there's no moving forward between them at this.
Yeah.
Except for Heather brokers a little truce. And she's like, listen, I think everyone talking about you on the bus or on the RV trip was shitty and uncalled for. You couldn't defend yourself, but you're going too low. Can you chill the fuck out? Like, let me be on your side. You need it. And she said it in front of everyone. And then Lisa, that clicked something. I think hearing support from someone in that moment. And I think even Meredith was like, don't bring the kids into this. What the fuck?
Yes.
I think she felt supported, and she's like, Heather like talked some rationality into her in that moment. She was like, she calmed herself down. She's like, you know what? I love you. You and I are supposed to be close, Angie. Let's like, so that's why it hurts so bad. And they have a couple more little digs, but also they're going to make it. And then she's like, in Bronwyn, I don't like you, but we can figure this out. And she kind of like points and says like a couple nice / not nice things to everyone. Yeah. But for some reason, it kind of makes this kumbaya, and they do like a cheers. And she's like, I love you even when I'm mad at you to everyone. And it seems like, we brokered a little truce. Like everything's going to chill out.
Yeah.
And it seemed good. And then Heather and Mary, they get together and they're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I love that Heather was like hungover because she had been stealing Mary's drinks. And Mary was like, the best part of this conversation was Mary explaining that she didn't like it because it tasted like hospital.
Yeah.
So things smell and taste like hospital. And she's like, when someone passes gas and you're like, but my mouth was open.
Yeah.
What? Mary!
That's good.
That's
Perfect.
that's the soundbite from her for that one.
That's perfect.
The big part of this episode was the Lisa Bronwyn makeup.
Mm-hmm.
They have a back and forth. To sum it up, basically, they go through some surface level things, and then they generally are like, you said things on purpose that hurt me and accidentally, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just stop. We won't even talk about each other's husbands, and we won't talk about each other's kids. And look at, we just had this whole conversation. It was actually a very nice conversation.
Yeah.
And this is where your ride or die for Lisa Barlow. And I really liked this conversation. I think I am a Bronwyn ride or die. I love Bronwyn.
Yeah.
And so I felt really good about it. And I saw Bronwyn doing this thing that I identify with so fucking much. And I think later on the conversation with her mom explains it even better, where she was like, they make up and they make their peace with each other, and you're like, they're going to be good.
Yeah.
And then they start catching up, and she's like, how's, your son? Oh, he's going to be back in less than 2 months. Amazing. Gwen hasn't left, and now my mom's here. And Bronwyn just starts like spilling all of her guts.
Yeah.
And I think that is, at least for me, when I do that, it's like this self-conscious, like, apply for connection. Like, look, I'm being vulnerable. I'm going to put it out and show you what's going on.
Yeah.
And how she's, stressed about being, her mom being there.
Yeah.
While she's going through her daughter being the same age that when she was pregnant, how that's brought up all this shit.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. The lore of that relationship is so dark, but it was really nice. And they hug, and it's like, okay, that's good. Thrilled about Lisa and Bronwyn figuring it out. They do a quick thing back to Mary. Mary's cousin is her general contractor and has been working on her church. So has her church been fully closed for 2 years?
Yeah. Yep.
And I love that Mary walks in. They start to kind of do a walkthrough, and she's like, wrong. Is there a nail here? Why aren't all of these fixed yet?
Right. Yeah.
And then she also then in the interview explains he's also her cousin, and he's a general contractor. It took him like 1.5 years to finish his upstairs floors at her house. She's like, he's family, and he milks it.
Yeah.
Like, she's calling him out. Yeah. And the real reason that they kind of had this is because it's kind of giving the update on Mary's mom, who she's been estranged from. The mom is the one that was like, I'm done with you. Because when Mary's grandmother passed, I didn't know this. So the messiness of how everything went down, her grandmother was the head of this church.
Yes.
And wanted everything passed down to Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mary's mom, who's the grandmother's daughter, goes in with a few people and is like, nope, it's mine, and starts like conducting church. And then they had to call the cops and have her removed. Yeah. Which seems just crazy and super intense. And then Mary says that her mom was putting like lies about her in the papers and disparaging her publicly, but also like cutting off contact with her for years. Yeah. And that sucks. And then now her mom died a couple months ago.
Yeah. Which I didn't know. Yeah.
I didn't know that either. And so they never reconnected or anything like that. And Mary was saying, it just feels like it's just finally done. Yeah. And I really felt for Mary in that moment because I have family members that I don't have contact with anymore who I know talk shit. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking shit, but only like with people who I know already agree with me. I'm not like trying to change anyone's opinions about anybody. Yeah. Right? That's not my job. That's not what I want to do. I'm not here to wreck anybody's relationship with anyone else. I don't need anyone to know any dirt on anyone. That's just not my job. Yeah. But I know that people are going out assassinating my character. And Mary just has to live with that. And that sucks. And it's her own fucking mom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's... So maybe this is just like a release for her. And that her mom's doing that and she's trying to deal with her son and getting her son through everything he's going through.
Sure.
She's trying to reopen her church and her cousin will not get shit done. Who knows how much she's paid him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Mary. Every time I see her, I love her more and more. And I just like that we're learning more and more about her. Even this rough, hard stuff. It's just, I think she's an incredibly strong woman. So I think she's great.
I agree. I'm glad they brought her back, and I think she's done great. And it's nice to have somewhat relatable person on there, right? It's hard to relate to Meredith Marks, right? Because Meredith is way up on that ladder.
No, I love her. I fucking love Meredith, but no, I don't relate to her.
No, we can't relate to her, that kind of a thing. But people can relate to Mary and her story and, what she's going through or has gone through. And I really like having that on here. I think it's really important.
I think the beginning seasons with Mary, she wasn't sharing that stuff really with us. And I don't think she was relatable.
Yeah.
I think agree. she was like a Kathy Hilton level kooky.
Right. It was good that they took her off the show for a little bit.
And I think having her come back and then giving her the chance to kind of be more open and show everyone who she is, I think it's been great. I think it's been so good.
Mm-hmm.
So love to Mary. Then we have Angie. Angie and Heather get together and they are the queens of stirring up shit. Yeah. And Heather's not even trying. Heather is trying to be the like kumbaya that she like started all the shit by being like, Angie said that you're just like Jen Shaw. And now she's like, Angie? Well, I guess she's kind of more on Lisa's side through all of this, even though she's trying to be direct with Lisa. Like she was like, Lisa, you're going too low. You can't. You got to chill out. I want to be on her side. They ganged up on you. Not cool. Yeah. Don't spiral out like this. But she's also still friends with Angie. Angie's hairstylist license lapsed, which I think is a thing. This is something I wanted to talk about. There was some talk online about how people could not believe that Angie's license had lapsed, yet she owned a salon. Mm-hmm. There's a thing where, like, when you own the business, you're not getting to do the part that you love anymore.
Right. No.
That's completely normal.
Right. It's just kind of inconceivable as a business person running that store that you can also have a station.
Also take clients. Yeah, no. Absolutely. And in hairdressing, I think specifically that's so clear. But like, I'm actually a pastry chef. When I was doing wedding cakes, I worked for businesses with people who the owners were incredible cake makers. Mm-hmm. But once they start running the business and they grow, they're barely doing the stuff that they love to do because they're doing all of the admin shit. Right. They're doing all of the money stuff. They're doing all the marketing stuff and keeping in the logistics of everything. So I will say, everyone get off her jock. It makes sense that she's not been taking clients. Yeah. And Heather was being very sweet and letting her do a pretend perm on her. Mm-hmm. And Angie immediately starts stirring up the shit and tells us that Lisa, after she thought they were cool, after the Clarity lunch, Lisa sent her assistant to pick up the boys' hair products and Venmo'd her money. Yeah. And then also was like, I can send my cleaners too because everything's so dusty in your salon. And Angie's like, the fuck? I thought we were good. So Angie's like, you come after me? I'm coming after you and I'm going to take you down. So she has this little like talk with Heather. Heather's trying to be the voice of reason and like she's spiraling out. She's going through a lot of shit and you talked about her kid's business. Mm-hmm. That sucks. So yeah, of course she's going to do this. You don't have to match that. Yeah. Stop. Yeah. And Angie's like, well, she started it. And you're like, okay, so you're not going to stop either. Yeah. And then Angie goes to Meredith and says, you know, they have their little lunch and it seems like they're going to be on better terms. And she tells her the story of the assistant coming and picking up the stuff, and then also goes, and by the way, the second that Meredith starts to say similar to what Heather was saying.
Yeah.
She's like, well, when you guys weren't on good terms, this is all the stuff that she said to look up and dig up on you to throw you under the bus. And I didn't do it, but I'm letting you know. And I mean, Angie's sniping. She is coming for Lisa, and she is going to take out everyone on the side. Anybody that's there to support Lisa, Angie's going to take them all out so that Lisa's left alone. And I don't know. Felt very messy. Felt very, very messy. One of the things that Bronwyn said when she was making up with Lisa is that they were having this race to the bottom.
Yeah.
They kept going low and they were having a race to the bottom. And that is, Bronwyn's caught herself before continuing, and they've made peace. Lisa and Angie can't help themselves.
Yeah.
Is kind of where I see it all. Do you think that is true? That Lisa told Angie things to look up about Meredith when they were on bad terms? You don't think it's true?
I don't think it's true. I had a weird, before the end of the show, which I'll explain a little bit more, but because something else happens, I had a weird feeling that I was like, this can't be true. This isn't true. Meredith and Lisa were on good terms. That makes zero sense that Lisa would text Angie and say, oh, she had a shoplifting charge, or her and her husband, or whatever, that this garbage that she was telling Angie to look up on Meredith. I didn't find it believable at all, because they were doing so well. And I feel like my instinct was validated at the end when they were having their tarot card readings, because a couple of them had a reading that they shouldn't trust somebody in their circle.
In the group.
And the show was kind of directing you to believe one person or another person, but I immediately thought it was Angie. You shouldn't trust Angie for both of those people, not just one or the other, but for both of them. And so I felt pretty good about my opinion when I first heard that. I don't believe it at all.
I'm torn. I think that, I mean, it's in her MO. But in the end, whatever Angie was planning on doing didn't end up.
But she doesn't do that for people she's friends with. Even Heather said that at the lunch. When you are friends with someone, you ride hard for them, and you back them up no matter what. And that's what she does. And it doesn't make sense that when she's friends with you, she's doing that. That makes zero sense. Then she's not your friend. Like, her and Meredith were fine. So
there was a point when Lisa and Meredith were not good. And I'm wondering if that's something that Angie's been holding in her back pocket. So like, I think it's true, but it's from a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Is what I think.
Gotcha.
I think it's old.
I gotcha.
And I think she's been waiting to, like, keeping that in case she needed it.
Oh, okay.
And was probably planning to never say anything, but now that she's not good with Lisa, and Lisa and her are so bad, I think that she's willing to let it go. So the next episode, Whitney Rose tries to have a garden party lunch, which, by the way, everyone was dressed to go to a different party. Yeah. This episode was so fucking good. It was all in one place. It was all at Whitney's garden party. Perfect. So good. So good.
I looked up the place after what Mary said. Continue.
Oh my God. Okay. So the place was a very eclectic, very whimsical, kind of castle Tudor vibe, but then it had little modern touches, filled with all sorts of different kinds of peacocks and birds. There were like beautiful peacocks, and then there were also albino, also beautiful. Sorry, albino peacocks, you're pretty too.
Yeah.
But just all sorts of birds. And Whitney walks in, and she's got all these flowers, and the first thing she says is, "Oh, Heather's gonna love the birds." And they took throughout the episode, it's just Heather like chasing a peacock. I love Heather so much. I would be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Although peacocks are not, they're
friendly. They're not friendly, right?
They're not friendly, and they're wild here where I'm at, because in like the 1800s, all the New York Upper East Coast rich people built their summer homes down here in Florida, and they'd bring like peacocks and stuff. And so now peacocks are just wild, and people will hate having them in their neighborhood because they're so fucking loud and they shit everywhere.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about it. Apparently our neighbor used to have one that would live on his roof, and he shot it.
Oh, fuck.
And people are like, yeah, fuck those guys. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
But I see them sometimes during, like, in more, like, woody areas. Not woody areas, but, like, when houses are spread farther apart. When you're driving around, like, not in the city areas, I'll see a peacock on the side of the road. Wow, awesome. It's really fun. I see more peacocks than I do alligators, and that makes me mad. Oh, hey. That's a different conversation, I guess. So anyway, first let's talk about this location, because Mary walked in and you could see on her face that she was not comfortable. Yeah. And I thought it was the decor, because some of it, it was actually should have fit right in with like what Mary likes. Although Mary likes more modern, but this was very eclectic and maximalist decor in this place. And she's like, oh. And then she's like, why is it here? And then she gives the backstory. Okay, so what did you find about it?
So it's called the Locale Vineyard, and it says the history is a murder-suicide in 2010 when the co-workers Stephen Ronalfson and his wife Lisa were found dead in a hotel room. The incident was reported as an apparent murder-suicide, and the police believe financial stress from a legal dispute over the restaurant was likely the motive. So the hotel staff found the couple in a Provo hotel room on Christmas night 2010, and the deaths were ruled murder-suicide, and the investigators cited financial troubles from a recent $4.7 million court award against the Ronalfsons and their partners.
Okay, so the way that Mary told the story, it kind of sounded like it happened at the location. Right. It didn't happen at the location. No. I think she was misinformed. Yeah. She also, my favorite part of the story is that he did this, he murder-suicided in front of their dog, and the dog has not been the same since.
Right? Thank you, Mary.
The dog is traumatized, guys. Yeah. Although not murder-suicided, just a witness to the crime.
Oh, God, so great.
Oh, my God. Okay. And I just made a note, maybe that she got a discount because of that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it was Christmas Day in front of his dog, and the dog has never been the same. So they all are dressed differently. Whitney Rose has little flowers. She looks like a little fairy princess, big old bow, it was like a little baby doll dress. She's trying to get her little girly innocence.
2 thumbs down.
Tinkerbell feeling back.
I liked the bow, but yes.
The bow was fun. I liked look at you complimenting her. Heather came in. I think Heather looked great.
I loved Heather was Heather's dress.
In a boho baby doll dress with long sleeves, and she had some boobies out, but it was sheer. She looked very, very good. Yeah. I think correctly dressed for it. Yeah. Meredith came in looking like a Kardashian. Yeah. The entire outfit is giant denim flowers. On her boots, it's a jacket and a top and then a mini skirt and then boots, and everything is like bigger than your head denim flowers.
And a slick back pony.
Slick back tight pony. Yeah. Very cool sunglasses. Boobies. In the interview, I mean, her breasts are incredible. I know that she has that thing that I'm hoping is contagious, and one day I'll be able to just motorboat her and get the same thing. Holy shit, her boobs look so good. I love Meredith this season. She chimes in when she needs to and goes, not my monkeys, not my circus.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, and just looks fucking awesome. And then she has her store that she's turning into a little jewelry counter, and then the caviar speakeasy in the back. They're really pushing this caviar. Good for her. Get your bag. Do whatever you need to do.
Not relatable to me at all.
No. We are not relating to it at all. But I want everything for her.
I love Meredith, yeah.
And then Bronwyn is dressed, I think, as Midsummer. Speaking of horror movies.
Yeah, well, she walks in with a coat that reminded me of the very first episode when we very first met her, and the big
heart.
red heart, but this was covered in flowers. Yeah.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
Just gigantic. Yeah, the entire thing was silk flowers.
Yeah.
It was great. I actually thought that was super fun. And then, let's see. I don't remember. Brittany came in something fine. It looked like a bridesmaid's dress.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Mary came in a power suit. She looked great.
Yeah. Mary did say that Meredith's roses looked like a virus. They put the COVID thing over her roses. And it was hilarious.
Mary is very preoccupied with germs. I mean, this isn't new. She's mentioned this before.
Funny.
I mean, it's a winery. They're doing a tasting. They've got salmon tartare to pair with their first wine. And she's like, I'm not going to do that because then the little bacterias are going to form a family in my belly and they'll live in her belly forever and grow a family and they'll never leave.
Right.
But she's like, I'm just going to have cheese. I'm like, you know where cheese comes from? Mold, Mary. Like, do you not? Yeah. She doesn't hear herself. She'll drink the wine, which is yeast, and she won't have the tuna tartare. I don't know. Maybe she's right. But then poor Heather's like trying to convince her. She's like, it's smoked salmon. She's like, she said tartare. I'm not touching it.
Yep.
But that's not the first time that we've seen her refuse to eat something.
Love that.
And you know what? She seems pretty healthy overall. Mm-hmm. And then last, I don't remember, Angie I genuinely can't.
It was almost a animal.
She looked like brown. A mob boss.
Yeah,
she looked like a mob boss opera singer in like full gown animal print, cheetah print.
It was weird. I didn't like it.
Nobody was at the same event.
No.
Lisa came in PJs.
Oh, and Lisa came in PJs.
Silk pajamas.
Yeah, like usual.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Nobody was there for the same thing.
No.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. So Whitney kind of gets up and gives herself a little speech about how she's trying to go back to, I think, her like more outgoing sexual attention needy side. She's like, I'm going to be crazy again, guys. I want the other moms to talk about me in carpool.
I know. Gross. Nobody cares.
Okay.
Whatever.
Weird. She's like, I decided to go into the business and I became very conservative. Like, what are you talking about? Okay.
Oh, I know.
All right. But she also, so they're going to have this wine tasting lunch. And then she also had this spiritual intuitive Terrence come from the East Coast, and he's going to give everybody, each person gets a reading. And so he's doing tarot cards. Do you believe in Terrence? I believe in Terrence.
I looked him up. I believe in Terrence. And
is he expensive? How expensive is he?
It won't let you. So yeah, it won't let you.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Do a price.
I mean, you have to fly him out.
New Jersey. He has an Instagram. He doesn't have a TikTok. He has a Facebook. They all look incredible, but no, the price is blocked. So
he went in and does not give a shit about anybody. Like I would be so starstruck with these women, and he did not care.
It was awesome.
Meredith Marks comes in all with everything that she had going on, and he was just like, okay, let's do this.
Right.
Okay.
Meredith and her virus. Yeah.
Yeah. Couple fun notes. The first thing was Angie was talking about trying to sell her house and how she wants to have horses. She's got this modern house, big old house, teeny tiny yard. Her daughter's really into horses. She wants to go buy land and have a farm and have horses. And Brittany gets real butthurt that Angie didn't list her house with her.
Oh my God, yes.
Did you know that Brittany was a realtor? Yes. I thought that she was an actress.
No, I remember her saying she was a realtor. And
I forgot.
No, that whole thing was almost comical.
Well, she's like, oh, your house has been listed for 200 days? That's terrible. That's not good.
Priced way too high. Oh my God, you've had a reduction? Oh, that doesn't bode well.
And she's just saying all of this while she's looking at her phone on
Jared's
Zillow
calling.
or something.
Jared's calling. What?
Okay, so people who need the attention on themselves.
Yeah.
Brittany is the worst for that. Also, a theme of this episode was everyone is like, I guess I like Brittany, kind of. Like, everyone was like kind of throwing her on. Like, I don't mind that she's here. Oh, poor Brittany is... I don't know if she's the most sensitive person, but also seems completely oblivious to everyone just shitting on her constantly.
Well, and last week, Whitney and her have this conversation at that plant store. Shit. And
I forgot.
They're talking about how she's back together with Jared, but her daughter Olivia is upset, and Whitney basically is grabbing her by the shoulders going, you should have an instinct that tells you to do what your daughter is asking you to and get away from this guy. Give it 30 days. Mm-hmm. Stop seeing him for a little bit. Try and reconnect with your daughter. See if that helps your relationship. You need to put your daughter first. And Brittany's just standing there weirdly stroking this cactus.
Stroking a cactus. By the way, that kind of cactus... It has teeny tiny little stickers. You don't notice them until all of a sudden they've like worked their way into you and you can't just pull them out. And she's going to be and also it was very phallic.
Yes. It was so just disturbing to watch. And Whitney was doing everything she could to be like, Brittany, what are you doing?
There was literally a point where she was like, putting her hands on her shoulders, and she's like, I'm going to feel a certain type of way unless you can understand what I'm saying. Yeah. But she was like, not date for 30 days. Am I just supposed to sit at home? She also said, it's a big ask. Is that a big ask?
No wonder your kids don't talk to you, woman. What? I can't with
And Whitney's
Brittany.
Like, how is that not your instinct to go, I don't know. I'm not... Listen, the other thing, everyone's beat the dead horse of the Bronwyn and her mom conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been everyone and their mom has had that conversation. But moms that just are not tuned in with their daughters at all, Bronwyn is watching it happen and like trying to connect. And I wonder if that's what Olivia is also doing, where she's like, Mom, I just need you to, like, be yourself and not be constantly striving for this male attention.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then we also find out that Jared went and talked to Whitney's husband.
Yeah.
And was, like, hanging out at their house and opening up to him.
Scummy.
Jared really wants to be on TV.
He's scummy. Yeah.
Are two dudes getting together like that? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't.
It didn't feel real.
No.
But
you're right.
Jared tells Justin, it feels like when we get back together, it's just because she wants to go on vacation or she wants to go out to a nice dinner. And
yeah, we don't know.
So as it starts off with Brittany trying to get real shitty with Angie about her house listing, which Angie's like, my godson or his mom is my realtor. They're a family friend. Like, why would I list with you? We don't even like each other.
Yeah.
And Brittany cannot figure out why. she's not getting that business.
But apparently everybody knows that Whitney had told Brittany to take 30 days off, because even Mary says, how long has it been? Has it been 30 days? And Brittany's like, no, Brittany's 24 hours.
24 hours. Not even 24 hours. And everyone's like,
oh my God.
Fucking moron. And so Whitney's like, by the way, this is what Jared said.
Yeah.
And that makes Brittany cry.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany takes that very personally. No one's really paying attention. She's like, but that like really, really hurts her feelings.
Yeah.
And like the fact that Jared called actually kind of saved her. But yeah, and then she's in the interview, she goes, you know, maybe sometimes he's a gentleman and he picks up the check when we go to dinner, or he buys me some clothes or a really nice bag. What? I mean, I guess Matt and I started dating when I was 19, and so like I missed out on like dating people with like a shit ton of money, I guess.
But just remember, there are two people in this relationship. He has to have some sort of responsibility too. Yes, she could be whatever this is, gold digging or just being a rotten human being, but he is also there too. So he needs to have some sort of blame put on him, but he's just shifting it all to her. So,
well, he's shifting it all to her and she's shifting it all to him. And what's confusing to me is that if this is true, and they're both saying that this is their dynamic, Whitney last episode apologized. She was like, I shouldn't have said that you suck dick for money. But
maybe.
The relationship seems very transactional.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know.
So who knows?
Anyway.
Who knows? Anyway. So Brittany, because she's crying, Whitney is like, she's like, I wanted to have a nice lunch. Mm-hmm. I really want to have this peaceful girls' lunch get together. I want this to be positive. Brittany, why don't you go first to go see Terrence?
Yeah.
And so she takes Terrence in, or takes Brittany to go see Terrence.
Yeah.
And I'll go through all of the readings really quick at the end, but basically, while readings are happening with Terrence, the table just fucking melts down. Mm-hmm. So there's this like extra little room off to the side in the courtyard where they're doing the tasting slash lunch, where Terrence is doing his thing. And so while you're doing a reading, you are still hearing the screaming happening around the corner.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sunroom or something. Yeah.
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 It was, I mean, the venue was very cool.
Yeah.
Murder, suicide aside. Cool venue. So Meredith says, you know, you and I, when we decided that we were going to get our friendship back on track, one of the things that we promised each other was that you and I are going to be direct. If something gets said about one of the other ones, we're going to be direct with each other. Yes. So I need to ask you.
To Lisa. Yes.
To Lisa. Sorry.
Yeah.
Says this to Lisa. And this is all clearly because of the Angie thing.
Yeah.
But she doesn't say Angie.
Mm-mm.
I found this interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, you know, have you been spreading rumors about my family? And Lisa's like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. And this is why I think Lisa's being honest in this moment.
Yeah.
Because she's like, we're good. I haven't said shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And because I think this is something that happened a couple seasons ago.
Okay.
That Angie
get behind that
is pulling out.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And then my favorite part is she goes, I don't even know what this is about, but Satan looks like she might. She's just like, Satan, holy shit.
That was amazing.
I was like, just immediately, like, it's not even like we're going to tiptoe around this issue. It was just like, let's go, bitch. Just immediately.
Yeah.
What?
Awesome.
But they have a quick little back and forth, and they do an aside to the interview. Heather, the Lisa Meredith thing, Meredith goes, okay, then you and I are cool. And Heather's like, you're just cool, Meredith? Like, Heather doesn't buy it.
Yeah.
I think also Heather kind of would benefit from that relationship not being great. And so she's like, come on. But that's that little dark part of Heather that we know is there. Mm-hmm. As much as we want her to be everyone's best friend, it's like, come on, Heather, you know. Mm-hmm. And then it comes up, you know, they just start pulling out all of the petty little arguments. And it's just one thing after another. One of the highlights for me was when Lisa had brought up a rumor that Angie had used someone else's credit card to go on a vacation to Greece and then had to write them a check when she got back. Mm-hmm. And Angie's like, here's my credit cards, bitch, and starts throwing her American Express black cards out at everyone. Yeah. And Heather grabbed one and was like, I've just never held one before. Have you ever held one?
No, I've never even seen one in real life.
Heavy.
No.
Well, I used to bartend in Northern Virginia, so I've swiped a couple of those puppies. They are heavy. There is a difference. Because they're made out of metal or something. I don't know.
And then Brittany grabs one and Heather's like, oh God, she's not going to need Jared anymore. Don't let her have that. That was
Heather's
funny.
So funny. I love Heather. Oh. But yeah, so she's saying Angie's saying it's impossible because she has her own credit cards.
Yeah.
And then she starts pulling, like, she's like saying about her Lisa's facelift, which, by the way, Lisa does not have a facelift. Mm-hmm. She gets threads put in. I actually saw a couple weeks ago, Lisa was on somebody else's podcast and she was explaining threads. She gets these surgical threads put in and they like, I'm looking at myself in the camera doing this and I was like, oh, that looks so good. But what they are, it's not like a string. Mm-mm. It's this barbed thing that they stick in. And so the barbs catch everything and pull it back. Oh. And she puts 6 in on each side.
Oh my God.
And that's what's giving her that look. And then they dissolve and then, you know, a year later you get new ones put in.
Wow.
And she loves them. She thinks that they're great. And her mom has aged very naturally and she looks beautiful. So she just does these little things. Oh. That sounds horrific to me. But then I sit there in the mirror and I pull up just like right behind your jaw and I was like, oh, that would look great.
Yep. How much did they cost? Did you look it up?
Baby gorgeous. I don't know.
Baby gorgeous.
I don't know.
Surgery threads. I have to know.
They're having basically this fight between Angie and Lisa can't stop. And everyone's kind of trying to chill them out, trying to speak reason into them. At one point, Whitney's like trying to point out the hypocrisy that they have with each other. And they're all like, God, everyone's trying to get them to chill out and kind of like making it into a joke while Lisa and Angie are just fully in the red. Bronwyn gets a reading and comes back, and we'll go through the readings in a second, but Bronwyn comes through the reading, comes back, and she's in tears. And why is Meredith queen? Meredith looks over at Bronwyn, and they weren't really ever super close, but they're getting closer.
Yeah.
Meredith is making time for her, and she sees her, and she screams at Everett, just like, stop it! It was, and everyone kind of did stop because it was intense. And she's like, do you see her? Like, what's going on? Like, let's tend to our friend who needs something right now.
Yeah.
And Lisa and Angie start fighting over who's going to walk away so that the other one can care for Bronwyn.
What is happening?
It's nonsense. Okay, so we have to talk about these threads.
So the threads, there's a huge range, but this is, you and I could do this.
What?
$800? Not per thread, for the whole thing. However many you put in. $800 to $2,500.
Baby gorgeous on a budget.
Right. And it says it can last between 1 and 3 years, depending on, I don't know. What?
Shit. Are we going to Turkey?
You and I could
totally
afford that shit. Just saying. I was thinking it was going to be like 10 grand or.
I mean, that's what I assumed.
Something. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Anyway.
I mean, you and I were going to get matching tattoos on Thanksgiving. Maybe we're getting threads.
Wow. Amazing.
Is everyone ready to see us looking newer and younger?
Looking like we've been through a windstorm. Oh, funny.
I don't know. There are certain lights that Lisa looks so fucking good. And then there's other times, and I feel like they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, where they make her look rough.
Yeah. I agree.
So I don't know. I don't know if I want it. Sorry, Lisa. I think Lisa's beautiful. But they're lighting her really not kindly this season.
Agreed.
I feel. And our hair and makeup people a couple of times. I mean, everyone's talking about the eyelashes and the hairline and the wig thing.
Can I just say that Angie's look in the pink with her hair up and like little side ponies and it all curled, she looks stunning in that.
Yes.
In her confessional with the pink and her hair parted in the middle. I'm just like, my God.
With the big bow. We love a bow.
So beautiful. Just
Angie knows what she's doing.
Pretty. Yeah.
People, I mean, I would say honest to God, other than a couple rough confessionals for Lisa, everyone's kind of stepped it up this year and doing like a lot better.
And I'm surprised Angie, even on the show, is not wearing as much makeup. Did you notice that? She's almost like makeup look. It's very natural almost. That's what I noticed about her. I'm like, wait a minute, is she wearing makeup? And it's very subtle. It's very pretty.
It's really good.
Anyway.
It's really good. Actually, I'm going to go backwards. Lisa and Bronwyn. There are certain lights that hit Bronwyn, and Bronwyn looks
bad.
rough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. True.
And it's just because we don't allow women to age.
Right.
But I feel like there's lighting that could be different that they're doing in a mean way.
Especially when she was talking to her mom last week. That was not good. The lighting was not good. She was looking rough, but
yeah.
Anyway.
That was tough times. No. Something gets said about a suit man. No one's clear on that. Still
what about
to
the
this day.
suit man? That's what Lisa shouts out. What about the suit man? Nobody knows.
Well, and then Whitney on Watch What Happens Live said that she thought it might be, what about the suit man?
Oh, suit.
But still no one's clear on what that means either.
Okay. All right.
And Angie's like, I've never even eaten soup. Like, okay. I don't know what that means, but I love it.
So good. They have to break apart a bunch of times. Like does Lisa walk away first? Lisa maybe walks away first, and then Whitney chases after her, and then she comes back to the table, and then
somebody
Whitney
goes for a rating finally.
Yeah.
It's like
Lisa and Angie are talking away from the group at one point, and then come back to the table, and then Angie leaves away from the table. People go talk to her. Like it's very nauseating. I'm getting very dizzy.
Chaos. Yeah. It was chaos. And one of the things that happens that is super important, but it happened very quickly, but I think is super important. Mary calls out Angie, and Mary and Angie are like this. Yeah. They're like sisters now. Mm-hmm. And Mary says, you're going after her and saying that she's looked up stuff on other people. You were fine with that when you two were friends. So you need to stop using that as an argument. And I think that Angie was taken aback by getting because Mary doesn't talk. Mary doesn't get involved in it. No. Mary doesn't give her 2 cents very often.
She doesn't have an opinion, no.
She has 1 point to make each fight, and then she's out of it. She's just watching it.
Yeah.
And she's like, you were cool with it when you and Lisa were friends. And Angie starts to kind of turn on Mary.
Yeah.
And Mary took it so personal too fast and got up and left.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see the outcome of this, but I'm very surprised. I was very surprised by that interaction.
I was surprised, but also loved when Mary was hyping up Lisa, saying, you are better than this. Just stop. Stop going so low. You are a business person. You are really intelligent. And I'm just like, oh my God, Mary.
Yeah.
And Lisa's like, that was so motivational. Thank you so much. That was so good. I appreciate that. That was shocking that Mary did that for Lisa. I loved every second of that.
Especially because everyone's like, that's how Lisa does it. You don't have to do it too. Instead, and Angie's like, well, so we have to let her get away with it. And instead of having the conversation with Lisa where you're like, Lisa, you don't have to do this. You don't have to participate. And coming at it, I think like Heather tried to do at the end of the clarity lunch, Mary was doing it better. Yeah. Because I think Heather does it kind of blowing smoke up your ass. Mary fucking means it. Yeah. Which I love. Yeah. So.
No, and I was getting really bothered. You could tell, and they kept saying, Angie's just on this rage right now. And you could tell they would talk to Angie and say, Angie, you don't have to engage with her. You can defend yourself, but you don't have to engage. Angie would turn around and go, but do you know what she just said? Did you hear what she just said? Angie, you didn't listen to what I just told you. You didn't take a breath. You didn't stop. You didn't absorb it, retain it.
They're both just spiraling.
She just kept going and wouldn't stop. And I'm like, okay, yeah, she's, nope.
Got to tap out.
We're done. Yeah.
So then Angie comes, she had brought in, she's like, I have presents at the beginning of it. And she's this like Tupperware. And then she comes back and brings, this is what set Mary off. This is what made Mary leave. She brings back this giant Tupperware of stuff. And she's like, opens it up and you realize it's everything that she's ever been given by Lisa. Lisa at this point is getting her reading. So Lisa's not there. And everyone's like, this is the pettiest shit.
Yeah.
You have to stop. You have to stop. Yep. And she's pulling out a toy horse that Lisa had bought for her daughter, like a Barbie horse. She's pulling out a never opened Vita tequila bottle, and it looked like scrapbooks or something. Like, what the actual fuck are you doing right now? This is, and everyone, and this is where Mary's like, I'm done. You're bringing Tupperware? She's like, who has Tupperware this big? She can't handle it.
No, it looks like you would put like Christmas wrapping paper in it or something. Yeah. It's huge. Yeah.
The whole thing was so, you can't help her. You can't help yourself. You're too wrapped up in this at this point. And I feel like the same thing happened a couple seasons ago. And this, I'm a little over Angie and Angie's drama.
Me too.
Because let it resolve itself.
Yep.
If Bronwyn can be called a gout dick sucker and get over it, you can get over whatever the fuck this is. Yeah. The Karastos hair or whatever bullshit it is. Yeah. Basically, and like Mary had said, Mary's mad at Angie for going back to Lisa. I don't remember. And Angie's mad at Mary because sorry, I said that backwards. Yeah. And she says, I'm not going to be mad at her just because you're mad at her. Yeah. I think that's valid. Yep. Yeah. And that's perfect. And she's like, I'm fucking done. And we're going to see next week how it all shakes out. Bronwyn says, you don't have to take it to Angie. She's like, you don't have to take this from Lisa. You also don't have to engage in it, which is exactly everyone's point. But she says it really succinctly. She can't fucking hear it. Nope. And then all of a sudden, as they're all in the middle of the fight, and it's like Whitney comes back. She had just gotten her reading. She's like, where did everyone go? And they're like, yeah, they left. Everyone's mad. And, Bronwyn's kind of still crying and people are frustrated. Whitney's crying because she just had the reading. It's happy tears, but oh my gosh. Brittany's like, oh my God, Jared texted me 4 times and he's called me like 6 times. I'm going to answer. Do you guys care? And everyone's like,
don't call him.
This cuts through all of the bullshit. And they're like, no, you cannot. What are you doing? Heather's like, no, he's talking shit.
You were just mad at him.
You're brokenhearted over this. And then later on, she's going to go do an interview about it and cry. Yep. But in that moment, she like already forgets again. Is she a goldfish? What is I don't understand her brain. I do not understand her brain.
Yep.
And she answers it. And Bronwyn, how can you not? I don't understand how you don't love her. She leans over. She goes, "Hi, Jared." And then Bronwyn jumps in and goes, "Do you pay Brittany's bills? Is that what you're doing?" And he's like, "There have been times that I have helped." And you can see Brittany being like, "Oh, shit. I can't believe he's saying this."
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's true or not, who knows? But Bronwyn goes, "She's giving you up for Lent. You can give her a call back in May," and hangs up the phone. That is a girl's girl. Yeah. That is funny as shit.
That was funny.
And it was the correct thing to do because Brittany cannot help herself.
No, it was awesome. It was
that is a Brittany who needs a conservatorship.
Yep.
Holy shit. Yes, she is an insane person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that ends another lunch from hell. There's so many of them. That's all we've had so far.
We've only had actually 4 whole episodes, and I think every single one of them has had a lunch or a dinner or an event where they're all screaming at each other. Every single one of them
just
so far.
Full on screaming. I would, and this is, I think everyone else at this point, I think everyone would be fine except for Lisa and Angie, and they have to make the center of every event their fight, and everyone's like, "Can we? Please. I'm trying to drink wine."
And poor Mary, "I'm so hungry.
I'm so hungry.
I'm so hungry."
The wine expert comes in and she's like, "Does anyone want to try the next wine?" And they're like screaming by the creek.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. Okay, let's go through the readings really quick. The first one was Brittany. And basically, she's disconnected from her daughters. And Brittany in the interview goes, "There's no way he could have known that. There's no way he could have known that." And then they just show a series of everything from her the last 2 seasons talking about how she and her daughters don't talk. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Bronwyn was the next person. And when Brittany came out, Bronwyn announces, "I've never been so happy to see Brittany in my life." Because it was her turn to leave. This was interesting to me. He was like, "The brain keeps coming up. Why is the brain keep coming up?" And he said that her mom is ignoring her blood numbers, the results from her blood tests, and that her mom is her biggest supporter, but might not seem that way, and that Bronwyn needs to make peace with who her mom is soon. Which was like, that felt very on point. Because he couldn't have known well, maybe he could know. But still, I thought that was very, very interesting.
It was good.
Heather had never had a reading before.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Do we shake hands? Is he going to look at my hands?" Like, she kept going, like, "It's about my hands, right?" And everyone's like, "No, be cool." But basically, it's all this rebirth, and then he goes, "So love isn't really working out for you," which
our head.
She had a sense of humor about it. So I want Heather to find love so bad, but also she's just so fun. She's just our good time girl.
Yeah.
I also just want her to go have some fun because she's never done that.
Yeah, no.
Please, Heather, go have some good fun. Then it was Lisa's turn. And he goes, "Okay, so who's the water sign? Who's the male water sign?" Which there are 3 water signs. And she was like, "Oh my God, how do you know?" I mean, that's like a quarter of the year if there's a chance that there's a dude in your life that was married, born one of those times, right?
Yeah.
So it was very broad. But then she's like, "How did you know my husband?" Her body language throughout her reading was, I mean, if your heart doesn't go out to her in that moment, because she's like, she's always so, and I kind of want to talk about this afterwards. She goes out and they're like, "How was it?" And she was like, "It was all good. It was great." Yeah. And she won't really talk about anything that's not perfect going on in her life. But she's fidgeting. She's starting to cry. So she puts her sunglasses on, and then she's like tapping her tears away. She doesn't want anyone to see. And she's trying to kind of be lighthearted about this really heavy shit that he's going, "Okay, you're having to rebuild trust. Trust is broken between you two. You guys are like an elastic band. You snap back together, but you need to figure out how to communicate again. You guys are on different paths. There's a lot of angst and frustration. You're best friends, but you're not on the same team. Like, she does say, marriage is really hard. And they're definitely in a season that I think is probably really rough. I think if you're John and everyone's saying all of this stuff about your wife and taking money from another dude and, she sucks dicks for Laker tickets or whatever it was. Like, I mean, and then you have these lawsuits pop up. That's got to be hard to handle. Yeah. And not being on the same page when it comes to kids. I mean, this is a kid coming back from his Mormon mission, and he's like, yeah, our kid should go get an apartment. And she's like, he shouldn't be allowed to move out. I was like, oh, you don't get to pick that. Like, he's 19. Yeah. Right? I think he's 19.
Yeah, he's 19.
You don't get to decide where he lives if he decides he wants to live somewhere else. Yeah. And she's like, we shouldn't allow this. And I think she has a lot of control over a lot of things. And I think that, things are on shaky ground. So her body that whole time, my heart broke for Lisa as she was going through this, because I feel like she wasn't admitting to herself maybe some of that stuff that was going on. And it was just like, Terrence hit it right on the head. Yeah. But then she came back and she didn't really share like everyone else was sharing. Yeah. Granted, Angie is also right there. So, but one of the things that Bronwyn did, which I mentioned earlier, where she was like, we're making peace. I'm going to spill my guts a little bit in like an effort to connect with you. I feel like Bronwyn desperately wanted that in return. And it was kind of a turnoff for her when she got nothing of that from Lisa. And I was like,
well, here's the thing.
Bronwyn's not owed it, but I see why it's like, they want to share the vulnerability, and it's just not going to happen. That's not going to come from Lisa.
Well, here's the thing. People, they talk shit about Lisa and have all these terrible things to say. And then Lisa has this conversation with Bronwyn, and Bronwyn spews all of these apologies, which I don't know that they're 100% real. In my mind, I think it's a lot of made for TV garbage. The show is steering us to try and like her more, which is making me think there's something fishy going on anyway, because these housewife shows, these women don't apologize. They don't apologize. This is not how it works. We do not have adult, mature conversations. And this is what Bronwyn is doing. So I'm feeling a little sketch about it, but you cannot expect a completely different individual to act the same that you are. If you are being vulnerable and spilling your guts and saying all of these personal things to another person, you cannot then, if that person does not do it back to you, turn around and go, fuck her. She's a piece of shit. Fuck off. Like, that's not fair, because I don't do that. I only am vulnerable with people I am comfortable with, that I've known for a really long time, and that I know that you are not going to turn around and either make fun of me or throw it back in my face and somehow. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a person in my family, but most of the time it is. And I just think it's really unfair to compare Bronwyn and Lisa when Lisa didn't turn around and do that. Lisa just doesn't do that. I'm sorry,
she's
people,
not going
there
to.
are different types of humans on the earth. And for you to praise all hail Bronwyn because she's doing all of this stuff and tell Lisa she's a pile of shit.
No, I don't think Lisa's...
I don't think that's
No, that's
fair.
not... I think that Bronwyn was let down by that. But I think my point is actually the same as yours, in that Lisa's just not going to. I think everyone... I think there was an expectation that we were going to share, and Lisa's like not sharing. And it was, you can't expect Lisa to share. She's in the middle. She just got ripped apart. She's actively getting ripped apart by Angie. And it's just another one of these things where Lisa, the entire group is overshadowed by this fight. So there's no chance that there would be openness.
Yep.
Because this is happening constantly.
Yeah.
So everyone else on the periphery, Meredith and Bronwyn had their moment together that I thought was so nice. And Meredith kind of getting everyone to rally around her. And Lisa and Angie can't engage because they're too busy fighting. And it's like, at this point, it's like, can we all just hang out without them?
It's just not fair because even Whitney and Mary both said, well, you're not vulnerable. You don't share stuff. Okay, bitch.
Now's not the time.
Going to. I'm
That's
not
what
going to. And you can't
now's not the
look
time.
at me and go, I'm not X, Y, and Z type of person, or it's not fair because, fuck you. You know what? I'm not going to do it. Why would she?
Not then. Not then. Not in that situation. I agree with you in that point.
No.
It's just a bummer to me.
Yeah.
Angie then goes after her, and there's a new business venture. She's got a new product that is sunglasses, and no one knows about it. It's going to go great. And that he's like travel in June, and she's like, yeah, my dad does horse stuff. Which, why is her dad on a horse?
I know.
Her dad's 1,000,000 years old.
Yeah, I know. Weird.
And it's like her daughter's doing horse stuff. Yeah. I was very confused by this. And then he's like, there's going to be an injury. And then everyone's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Not her dad. Don't let her dad get injured in June on a horse.
My God, right. Yeah.
He will not recover from that. Yeah. And then he's like, no, it's the horse. And then afterwards she had brought in her Tupperware of all the things, and she threw the horse, and then the toy horse's leg broke. And everyone's like, the horse got injured.
Yes.
There you go.
And just Mary was very funny about learning that there was that intuitive reader there, because she's like, I call that a soothsayer. I'm not going anywhere near that Satan.
No.
There's no way. No.
The devil talks through them.
Yep. Not going anywhere near. And I loved that so much. She was so funny.
It is interesting to me because they are, they're in Salt Lake City, Utah. And a lot of them have a strong Mormon background, although no one's, other than Mormon 2.0 Lisa, no one's really active in the church. Meredith is Jewish, and I think she's cool to talk to mediums. And Mary's the only one that's like really deeply ingrained in her faith. She's got her own church going. Yeah. So she's like, my church says you can't. Well, she's the church. So if she says you can't, you can't. But everyone else is like totally into it. Even Heather, who's super Mormon. Yeah. But I don't even know, is she non-practicing, or she just doesn't feel welcome in the church because...
Yeah, I think she just doesn't feel welcome. Doesn't go.
I think she wants to, though.
Yeah, I think she misses that connection and the socialization and being part of a group, because that's...
Well, I think my therapist just keeps telling me that I need to find some sort of spirituality to put my anxiety into. She's like, you have a lot of fear for things that you don't have control over, and you need to put that fear and give that fear over to something beyond you. And I was like, but I don't believe in God. So this is really hard.
So we're going to just do Etsy and TikTok witches instead.
So TikTok witches it is.
Yeah.
But Meredith also goes, and they talk about mental health and that there's like a friend that you can't trust their narrative. It's like there's a snake that you need to not necessarily cut out, but you don't have a depend on them anymore. And I think Lisa walked through it that time, which I think you were referencing. Yeah. But I think that if Terrence is correct, I think that it is... I think Lisa does it, but I think that Angie's showing that she does it just as more. She's going to pull something that happened 2 years ago out of her back pocket and twist it to fuck you over. Yeah. She's here to fuck you over. Yeah. Who else is really close with Meredith? Not really anybody. It's Lisa, and it was kind of Angie. Like they were getting together. Yeah, I don't know.
Used to be Mary, and it's not anymore. Yeah.
Used to be Mary, not anymore. I'm sad about that. Because they make a lot of sense as friends.
Oh my God, right.
And then Whitney was last. And it was how there's bad communication at home and her business isn't great and she isn't being authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And also there's another snake that she can't trust. And okay. So in the end, Jesus fucking Christ, Angie and Lisa, let's just not have them together.
Oh
and
God.
If one starts talking about the other one, you go, okay, you have to go home now. You don't get to be at the party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you guys can't be together, fine.
Mm-hmm.
One of you doesn't get to come to the event.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I would do in my real life. I know that this show isn't real life. But,
yeah.
ugh. But we do have a couple new exciting things that are going to be happening, such as Heather is going to be chartering a super yacht from a captain who was a captain that was on the boats and shows. So I'm excited about that, and I hope that they sleep together. He was a slut. Who did he go on a date with? He went on a date with somebody on another show, another Bravo show as well. Either way, I'm excited to see him again in his crew cut. I think he looks like my dad. I think he looks like a young version of my dad.
Okay.
I'll text you a picture of him.
Okay.
And then we're also get a sneak peek of a couple other things, but the big thing is we're gonna watch Angie and Mary break up. And Mary's fucking pissed.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I don't think I've ever seen Mary so mad.
Yeah, she's really hurt. You can see the hurt that Mary has. It's just palpable. I feel so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I am uncomfortable with that as something that that we're going to be watching coming out.
Yeah.
So everyone hold on to your butts for next week. but yeah, that's my Real Housewives wrap up.
Yeah.
But I fucking love this season. Other than the fact that I need Lisa and Angie to get over it because I'm done. This season's so good.
I know. Whitney's hair went back to blonde, right? On Watch What Happens Live?
She did. She's gone back to blonde.
That's right. I was like, did I
She's gone back to
hallucinate that? No.
She went back and it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And
did you watch the whole Watch What Happens Live with her?
Yes.
I saw a little clip. I didn't watch all of it, but when Lucas Stone, is that the guy that was with her? Anyway, he talked about Tom Schwartz in the movie.
I know.
What? I can't wait.
Cute. Good for Tom Schwartz. Tom Schwartz needs something positive in his life. I've finally forgiven him for being a bad husband to Katie.
But this movie sounds incredible. It's a love story, and basically the entire movie they reference Vanderpump Rules. The entire movie. What?
Yeah,
I can't wait.
That's what
he plays himself. Schwartz plays himself.
Well, could he play anyone else? He can't bartend. I don't think he could be anybody else.
No,
so
but
good for Tom Schwartz. Get that paycheck, baby.
I love it. It was so good.
Oh, Tom Schwartz. All right. Are you ready for in our Halloween theme? Going.
True crime story time. Whispers in the dark. Truth leaves a mark. True crime story time.
Yeah, so we were talking that we think for the month of October we should do kind of Halloween or, I don't know, paranormal kind of ghost stories for our true crime story time. And I selected a very quick documentary on HULU that comes under Crimes of the Paranormal. I think there were 8 episodes, and they were all different. They were all very short, like 45 minutes, all different about something true crime that happened, but have to do with paranormal kind of stuff. And the very first episode was about lizard people. And let me tell you, I did not know I did not know people believed in this. Steve, a lot of people he works with believe hardcore, like they are in it 1,000%. And he will come home and say, so-and-so said this. And I'm just like, that makes zero sense. I've never heard of any sort of theory or conspiracy theory or any of what this show is explaining about lizard people. You know, there's, you know, Sasquatch and aliens and all those, like, I call them kind of fun things. Like, I know that that's not real, but I think it's fun to kind of believe in and talk about. And
yeah, like cryptids.
Yeah, I got Sasquatch right behind me. Like, I love that stuff.
There's something kind of sweet and fun about it, right? Like, yeah, like Sasquatch. Well, there's Chupacabra, right. That's good. Sure. Mothman,
yeah. Oh, I love Mothman. Totally.
Sexy Mothman costumes. Correct. I'm seeing all over. And I'm not going as anything sexy, but that is a fun one that I highly recommend. Yeah. As a costume.
So I thought this was really interesting. I thought, okay, I'm going to learn a lot of this lizard people kind of conspiracy and see where it came from, which was super interesting too. So the show, like I said, there's a true crime. So a crime has happened. Mm-hmm. For the show to be based around. It's this mass destruction that happens because this person believed in lizard people, and it happened in Nashville, Tennessee in 2020 on Christmas Day in 2020. So the show opens with people calling 911 like they all do, and people are saying, there is this recording coming out of an RV or a vehicle downtown saying everybody needs to evacuate the area. We don't know what's going on. You know, can you help us send somebody right away? And you're like, what the hell is going on? Then they go to kind of our main character, Pamela, who tells our story.
Oh, Pamela.
Pamela, we love Pamela. Pamela is what, in her 60s maybe now, probably?
Looking great, though.
Looks great. Very articulate, has a very thick Southern accent, and is very fun and very sweet to watch. So she's telling us about her friend Tony, and Tony is explaining to her that he believes in these reptilian cryptid people out there, and he had told her a story about a lizard person that he had met in the woods named Lucerta, but she says it in a very thick accent, like Lucerta, like that.
I can't do that accent.
So
but
good.
My favorite thing that she was talking about, one of the things, like when they were kind of building their friendship, he had helped her kind of do stuff around the house. And then also he installed a burglar alarm. A burglar alarm.
Yeah, that's like a noise, not a word.
I can't stop saying, I've just been walking around my house going, burglar alarm.
She is so fantastic. We are not shaming her at all.
No,
I love her.
She's so cute. She's just this tiny little thing.
Yes, she's genuine. She has a lot of feelings. She feels all her feelings, and what he does is very horrific. And, you know, she kind of carries that around with her. Yeah.
It's not on her, by the way.
No, she didn't do anything.
Justice for Pamela.
No, she didn't do anything wrong. So she's just explaining that her friend Tony is saying something's big's going to happen. Everybody's going to remember it. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand what this means. So then they just kind of start talking about their backstory together, that she met Tony because he was dating her sister in high school. Her sister was 13 and he was 17.
Not appropriate.
Not appropriate, people, even in Nashville at the time.
And I like that even she was like, he was 17 and she was 13, and you could see she was like not cool, and she's like, but then he became friends with my parents.
Yes.
Which is fucking weirder.
Yeah. Anyway, he became family friend, right? They didn't date for very long, so he's not dating the 13-year-old anymore. But anyway, so time goes on, and she says in 2017, her sister dies in a drowning accident. And so her sister is killed. And she says, I'm going through a really low time in my life. I've got, 2 little kids at home, and I'm really lonely and sad. And Tony comes around and starts taking me out for, coffee and going out to eat and doing dog walks and making me trying to feel better. And she's like, it was perfectly fine until he takes me one time. He says, I'm going to go on a camping trip on Christmas Day. I do this all the time. And she goes on this camping trip with him, and we get to see this video footage she's taking on her cell phone, right? She's videotaping him when they're out in the woods.
Well, they were like maybe taping each other.
Yeah.
Also, like he had like a little camcorder. I was trying to figure out who was holding what, and it looked like they were going back and forth.
Yeah. And that's when he tells her about this lizard person that he saw last time out in the woods named Lucerda. And she's very beautiful, had long black hair, and was kind of standing a ways away from him behind a tree. But apparently he knew this was a lizard reptilian person somehow. And he's been looking for her ever since. So he goes on this trip and says, we're going to hunt her down. He has this gun. He's carrying a gun for their safety while they're walking around, and he's showing her, like, I saw footprints here, and there was a trail here, and he's going along. She's just like, what? Huh?
He's serious and matter of fact and to the point about it, and she's going, what?
Yep.
Which made me laugh, because her reaction to it is exactly what ours would be. Which, what? Like, she's not even really humoring him much, but she's also like, I'm alone in the woods with this man,
and he's got a gun.
And he's, oh my god,
yeah. And so he's explaining to her that reptilian people are here, and they're here to eat people. They're here to eat you, and that's why we're gonna protect ourselves. And so he doesn't want whatever this is to kind of come up on them unexpectedly, right? That's why he's carrying this gun around. And so then they go to this explanation of, monsters and where this is in our, I guess, society and popularity, I guess. So we have this professor of history and pop culture, and he comes out and he says, monsters are basically bundles of anxiety, of terror and the unknown in the world history, right? There's origins of the reptilian monster that go as far back as the Epic of Gilgamesh, right, in the Bible. And there's this sneaky snake that steals the secret of eternal life. And then it's in the Christian and Hebrew scriptures. There's a serpent there.
The Garden of Eden.
Right. The figure of Satan, right, is serpent sometimes. And then he said by the 20th century, there's a template that comes from religion and folklore and pop culture that is basically what we've come to believe now. It's kind of, I don't know, through the years manifested into what monsters are around now.
Yeah.
So he said it's, there really hasn't been a lot of reptilian type cryptids, right? Except in these, scriptures and, I guess these folklore histories from a really long time ago, until now. And he said until they didn't really make their debut TV appearance until the 1980s. And I remember this story.
Do you really?
I do remember this story from South Carolina, in Bishopville, South Carolina, where they explain this kid. Well, he's not a kid. What was he? A teenager, maybe?
I mean, he was.
I don't know.
Late teens, early 20s, something like that.
Late teens or early 20s. He said He calls 911 and explains that he was driving his car down the road near the swamps, and he gets a flat tire. He gets out, changes his flat tire, and gets back in the car, and he hears something running up behind him. So he can hear something running behind him. He gets in the car because he's nervous because it's 2:00 in the morning or something like that. And then he's driving and he hears something crash and jump on top of his car on the road, on the hood. Mm-hmm. And he gets really scared. He drives home and he's honking his horn and he won't come out of the car because he's so scared. And they have to basically drag him out of the car. So he calls the police. He calls 911 and says, this lizard person, this thing jumped on my car and tried to kill me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, in the 80s, I don't know. This town was very kind, very sweet to this man, this young boy.
Yeah.
It could have gone sideways, hardcore. They could have committed him, put him in jail, done all kinds of horrific bad things, but they believed him. They're like, okay, tell me about it.
I love every single person in this town.
100%.
They just seem like good, genuine people.
Yes, it was incredible. And so the sheriff was like, I don't know what to think. I said, okay, I want you to draw it. Draw it for me right now. And he said this kid sat down and drew it immediately, right?
And this was Sam's favorite part of this.
Drew it immediately.
The drawing was really bad.
The drawing was horrific. I drew a little picture of it. I will tell you right now, I drew a picture of it.
That's just what it looked like.
Yes, I drew a picture of it. And it had like the shape of like an alien.
Little lemon head. Very long arms, very tall. He said it was like 7 feet tall or something. Mm-hmm. Very long legs and like these talons with nails coming out of it. He said there was green eyes and green skin. And they were like, okay, great. So the next morning they go out to investigate this. Again, I'm in love with this place. They go out and investigate and they find these footprints. Mm-hmm. These huge footprints that have like these 3, I don't know. And they're huge, just massive.
There's like a heel pad and a midfoot and then these 3 like talon or something.
Yeah.
And they take these cement imprints of these things are huge. Mm-hmm. And they follow the footprints until they stop. And then they come across this 55-gallon drum that has these 3 scratches along the side of it. Like somebody had tried to pick it up or picked it up and threw it or something like that. What is happening? What is happening? And the sheriff and the deputy are like, you know what? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Just matter of fact. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean that it isn't.
What?
And they're like,
this happening.
What proves it? We went with bloodhounds.
Yep.
Because if a human did this is what they're trained to do, is go after people, follow the people scent. They don't care about the scents like it's any other animal in the woods. No. They're not interested. That's how we know people didn't fake this.
No. It was incredible.
The one guy who's like, I could tell you stories that you would never like make you shit your pants. And you're
just like, oh my God, I love this place. This town is so kind.
So supportive of this guy.
Yes.
And they're like, well, we didn't find him. Let's make this into national news and become a tourist attraction.
Right. Let's make some money off it. Make t-shirts and make toys.
Lemons out of lemonade.
100%. They didn't shame this kid. They didn't call him a crazy person. They didn't lock him away. They're like, this is the best story ever. We're going to completely capitalize on this.
And they love it. They love it.
Yes.
He is a celebrity.
Yes. This town is known for this story, this lizard man story. That's why people go to this town.
Bishopville.
Yes.
Check it out, friends.
Yeah. So then they shift to explaining about conspiracy theories. And they have this podcaster on there that's talking about them. And he says, conspiracy theories are just an alternate way of seeing the world, whether it's real or not real. That's just how somebody who believes in whatever it is sees the world. And I was okay with that definition. I'm like, okay, I like that. That's pretty benign. You know, that's okay with me. He said that, you know, they show, we already went over that, like the whole Bishopville, you know, makes money off of it now. And he said that story in Bishopville went viral before there were social media to be able to go viral, right? That is incredible to me, that just by word of mouth, this spread. That's how things went viral before we had cell phone, people. Right. So he said, you know, in the 1990s, the theory of lizard people really started to come out rampant because of computers. That's when we got, you know, the information highway, the internet, which was supposed to give you information, but it is kind of doing the opposite with disinformation right now. So, you know, in the late 1990s, when the internet came and everybody started to have a computer in their house, right? People were going on message boards and chat rooms and things like that and talking about their similar ideas, right? About lizard people, you know, specifically, right? And then, and you know, and then it gets widespread, right? Because, you know, first you have 5 people talking about, and now you have 500 people talking about it. But back then, it's not like now where it's you click on one thing and then the rest of your feed is that one thing. You on purpose, you had to go into that chat room, that specific chat room or that specific message board to talk about that, right? You had to find it. That's how it worked back then. So it was intentional. But anyway, so they shift back to Tony and Pamela. And Pamela's explaining that Tony's really good with computers. He works IT for a lot of different companies. And that's really how he came across the lizard people idea, was being on the computer all the time. And, you know, she said he was a loner. She never saw him with anybody. And when you're online so much, he explains you kind of don't know the difference between reality and not reality, right? What's real and what's not real, which is really what's happening right now, you know, let alone in the frickin' 1990s, right?
Right. Right.
So he said people can really go, you know, they brainwash themselves, which I thought was fantastic how he said that. But then we meet this British man named David Icke. Crazy person. So he's on this television. Very bad person. He's on this talk show in the UK, and he is a former professional football player, which is soccer to us. And so he now has come out saying that he's the son of God, and God has told him, he's announcing that God has revealed to him about lizard people, and that they are running our government and our banks. And what else did he say?
Well, they were the British monarchy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is lizard people.
Right.
Also, Dick Van Dyke, I think, was a lizard person.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that one of them?
Yes.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Running the banking systems, business systems, politics, and the military and the government. That's what he is telling on these national talk shows in the UK. And his career obviously really takes off. People are following him and watching him, and he's on these different news shows and just doing interviews, saying all of these things. And he says, David Icke says, he believed that somebody called the Merovingians were lizard people. And I had to look it up. Do you know what those are?
No.
Do you have any idea? No.
No, I have.
So
no.
the Merovingians are relating to the Frankish dynasty founded by Clovis, reigning in Gaul in France and in Germany from 500 to 700. Now, excuse me, I had to go back and look up who the Franks are. I didn't know any. I love history. I didn't know any of this stuff. This is so fascinating to me. But this David guy thinks these people in 500 BC are lizard people. So where am I? The Franks were this group that was divided into two groups. And one of the groups, the Salinas, were run by King Clovis in the 5th century, so 500, right? Mm-hmm. But Clovis conquered Roman Gaul, so the French part of Rome, and established a powerful Christian kingdom and made Paris. This guy made Paris the capital of France. Okay?
Cool.
So then Clovis and his descendants, the Merovingians, ruled the vast Frankish kingdoms, right, for centuries. So apparently Frankish means France. Didn't know that. There you go. So then the Merovingian dynasty eventually gave way to the Carolingian dynasty and Charles the Great, and then so on. So I know who Charles the Great is. But that is so far into history.
Back.
So far back.
There have been lizard people since...
Right. So that's what this David Icke guy is spewing on TV.
But, like, he's getting platformed.
Right.
Right? Like, this is the 80s.
Yeah.
So... Yeah. Unless you're, like, not that many people, you know, Al Gore didn't really invent the internet yet. So not everyone's got access to this kind of stuff. Unless you're an IT guy, you're not getting, and the only way that this is going to go nuts is in that place, or once Phil Donahue's like, yeah, let's put him on.
Right. Exactly. It finally comes out that this David Icke stole this entire story and everything that he was saying he heard from God off a TV movie called V. Do you remember V? I remember V.
I did not see V, but I did watch the little clips.
Yeah.
And
it's
looked,
exactly.
The part where, like, the face gets clawed off and it's like a human face, and then all of a sudden they claw off part of it and it's a reptile underneath.
Yeah. So
it's pretty good.
They explain that his followers, they find this out and they don't give a shit. They don't care. They're like, hail God, right? Hail David. We still love this dude, even though he's a bold-faced liar.
Well, they're not even, because you don't acknowledge it.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying there's parallels to what's going on today.
Whoops.
But the lizard people are also the QAnon people who are also the political people.
Right.
Don't come after me.
Well, the podcaster says, you know, if you're a person that believes what David Icke is telling you, and you have a person come up to you and vehemently disagree with you and say, no, that's wrong, this and that and the other, you will then believe that the person that disagrees with you is an agent of the lizard people. That obviously is how freaking crazy and insane this gets. You just get deeper and deeper and deeper. And then he starts talking about conspiracy entrepreneurs. Did you know that term? I didn't know that term.
I'd never heard that. There's a couple terms that I thought were not delightful, but like really good.
Yes.
Conspiracy entrepreneurs, 100% a thing. I didn't have a name for it in that way before.
Correct. 100%. These are people that are putting it out there like clickbait for you. They're doing it on purpose. They not necessarily believe it, but they're putting this content out for you to basically see. They're creating this stuff.
The king of them right now was, what's his face? With InfoWars.
Oh, Alex Jones. Yeah.
Alex Jones, right?
Yeah.
Like, conspiracy entrepreneur.
Yep.
Is that
Yep.
perfect?
It
perfect
was
name for him.
Yeah, they had a clip of Alex Jones sparking that theory. The lizard people, he was wearing a lizard mask and saying, if you believe this, you need to buy my my fluoride. Anyway, so that, yeah. So then it becomes this like lucrative craze, he says. There was an article written by The Atlantic in 2013. Now we're in 2013 that said 12 million Americans believe lizard people run our country. 12 million, ladies and gentlemen. That in 2013, we are 2025 right now. So I can't even wrap my head
They all
about.
have kids now.
Yep. So there's people out there doing seminars, right? This David Icke guy was out there doing seminars on it. People are making a lot of money off of this crazy shit that you are now really ingrained in believing. So
It's just a lot of work to avoid therapy, in my opinion.
I just can't. I can't. Like I said, I just cannot understand. And I guess that's why I'm on this side. I just I can't understand believing in that so deeply that you're willing to, and they say this now, commit violent crimes. Now you're so whacked out that you're just going to go do something violent and not even give a shit about it because you're basically saving the planet or you're saving your family.
You're a martyr
for
against the lizard people?
Right.
What?
Yeah. I don't understand. So then we go back to Pamela and she's, they're talking about people who believe in this stuff and what they do. And Pamela reads something that Tony wrote online to another person that said reptilians are an advanced species who have evolved in and on this planet. The absolute evil and corrupt life forms that tweaked DNA over and over to make humans created us to be a race of slaves. They also put a switch into the human brain so they could walk among us and appear as a human.
What? So there's a switch in our brain, or they have a switch in their own brain that they can turn
in our
on?
brain. They have put it in our brains, and we unknowingly did have that. But she says he's giving her all these things to like
study
read and to study, and she's like, I don't want it. I don't believe in this. I don't want to read it anymore. I don't want to read this.
Don't give other friends homework.
No.
Unless it's for a podcast.
Yeah. And then they showed just various people online and their videos they've made about what they believe in. One man said that there's 1,833 of them living underground between 200 and 300 feet below the surface. Another woman said humans have been eaten and taken off this planet and used for slaves in other colonies. Another man said, people say you shouldn't talk about it, but why not? Why not? We need to talk about it all the time. They're deliberately putting these videos out there for you to click on and for you to watch. They're just spewing what they believe, basically, is what they're showing us. And then the professor comes back and explains that, you can believe in these theories, but there has problematically been issues with doing that. And he starts to talk about racist groups using the reptilian language and that belief to further their racism, which was incredible to me. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't really put it together like he was explaining it. He said Hitler made use of the reptilian belief talk about the Jewish people. Basically,
calling them serpents.
Right. Yeah. He was explaining, like, if you have this belief, then you twist it and make this group of people worse, I guess, or more bad, you know.
Well, so that you can become a victim of them.
Right.
Which,
Right.
if you're making up these monsters
Yeah.
that you're a victim of, and then you put the lens on who these monsters are.
Right.
And then you can go after anybody.
And then he said David Icke was using it to find an audience with the neo-Nazis and the anti-Semites also, and people who were anti-government, just anti-government people, not necessarily racist. And now they're racist, right? Where they maybe weren't before, which was fascinating to me, that mindset and that theory, how that kind of moves along.
It's gross. It's super gross.
Super bad. Pamela comes back on and says how much Tony hated the government, right? Which tracks with all of this. And she said that he told her that lizard people were bugging the telephone lines and the cell phones and listening in on all of their conversations with everybody at all times. And he told her not to talk on the phone and not to text except in code.
Oh my God, can you believe lizard people code?
What that would look like? I don't know. Just emojis, complete emojis across the,
I know.
I don't know.
This poor woman.
Yeah.
Who's like, her sister died.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her adult daughter moved back in with her when her adult daughter was in the middle of a divorce. So she's got her grandbabies living with her, which, great that she could support her daughter in that way, but also super heavy to take on. And then this guy was like, hey, I knew your sister. We can talk about your sister. Come on dog walks with me. He's got this big chocolate chow mix. Oh my God, how cute was that dog?
Yeah, and that was
she was like, it was so therapeutic, right? Just the nice chance to kind of like break out of her routine. Yeah. Be able to have this nice connection to this person who knew her sister when she was younger. Like all of that sounded wonderful. And then he's like, by the way, lizard people.
By the way.
And then it's like he's immersed himself so much into his life. And she's like, I don't know how to get out of this.
I can't
he's like,
get away from you.
Here are these notes.
Yeah.
Study.
Right.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Poor Pamela.
Oh, yeah. She finally gets to tell us about what he was doing. So she says in June of 2019. So the bomb goes off in the beginning of the show, Christmas Day of 2020. So June, the year before, Tony calls her over and he says, hey, look at this. I'm going to show you what I can make. Out of a cotton ball, ladies and gentlemen, which is what the size of a quarter, maybe, depending on the cotton ball, and this liquid. And he made an explosion from these two things in the woods back there. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? What the actual crap? She said it was a pretty big explosion. And he told her, I'm working on this project and it's very dangerous. And I have to cook this stuff up. I have to cook it. Okay. So now we're Walter White, right?
Oh my God.
What the crap? She said, I remember driving him back to his house one day to get a tool. And I see this RV parked in his driveway. So it's, they show these still photos of the RV at his house. The same RV that you saw in the beginning of the show. And she goes over to the RV and tries to open the door, and he grabs her and pulls her back and says, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go in there. And she's like, why? Are you cooking that crap in there? Are you cooking that stuff in there? And she's like, what are you doing? What are you going to hurt people with this? What's going on? What are you doing? And he just looks at her and says, if people get hurt because of it, that's not my fault. What? She's like, wait, what? What do you mean? No, that's not how this works. So she was like, he really wants other people to believe that lizard people are out there. He really wants to get it out there, that he believes this and other people should believe it. So she's not quite sure what to do. And then the worst human being besides Tony, who does this bomb, shows up on our TV screen. This fucking FBI guy. I was so mad at him. I hated everything about him. He's the biggest piece of shit. Dude, I wonder, did you get fired from the FBI because you're a piece of shit and you don't know how to do your job? I hated this guy. Hated him. So this FBI agent, the last name Ali, he's talking about, over the last decades, the rise of the internet and social media. You've seen more people believing in these reptilian human theories and, and there's these platforms, social media that you can go on. And like I was describing now, you click on one video and then your algorithm is fucked and you're watching 87 videos of that same thing. And so I just hate this guy. I have to get my thoughts together. I hate him so much. They go back to the podcaster that says in the early 2010s, when the internet was really rampant, then, it starts to become people's only friend, They're not leaving their home. They're not having a full-time job anymore, Their mental health is starting to break down, which is what's happening right now. People can't even put this away for 5 fucking seconds. At least in my house.
I can't.
So, he goes back and explains, the reality between what's real and fiction is, breaking down. And things started to get really weird. They were saying that, President Obama was a lizard person. Videos were being churned out over and over again all over the world about lizard people in 2010 and, through that whole decade. And this FBI agent comes back and says, people who are damaged and looking for any sort of meaning, latch on to these beliefs and, then, they're willing to act out violently. And then we meet, like you were saying earlier before we started, this guy in Seattle who killed his brother. His name is Bucky Wolf. And he started watching videos on internet for bodybuilding and fitness. Perfectly fine, normal human being type of stuff. And he clicked on one video and then he was getting flooded with all these videos about lizard people and went down this very, very dark rabbit hole. He was putting out videos. They showed video clips of him basically being really paranoid.
And kind of like proselytizing about lizard people and the dangers of them and what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
This guy killed his own brother with a 4-foot-long sword. People thought his brother was a lizard person. And these people believe that if you are a lizard person, that you're no longer human, You're not my brother. You're not my aunt. You're not my husband anymore. So they, they don't have ties to you anymore. They're just going to kill you. So he kills his brother. And there are many stories like that online of people basically going crazy. They talk about a gentleman in Santa Barbara that killed his 2 children, took his children to Mexico, killed them, and left them there. So the fucker didn't kill himself. Of course not.
No. Why
would he kill himself? Just killed these itty bitty kids because he believed that they were lizard people. His name was Matthew Coleman, and he was in 2021. That's 4 years ago. I mean,
I mean, it's like, it just ties into, that's COVID. Everyone's
Right.
on there,
Yep.
on the internet because they aren't together because all that's happening. And also, not that they don't exist, all right? I'm just throwing this out there now. Not that they don't exist, but we're not hearing about women doing this.
Right.
Pam,
Yeah.
at a very low point, very vulnerable point, heard lizard people and went, what the fuck?
Right. No.
Just
Absolutely
throwing
not.
out there.
Absolutely not.
Just
Yes.
saying.
Sorry.
Yes,
So we go back to Pamela finding out, right, that he's cooking this stuff in the RV. And she's like, I had to tell somebody. I had to do something. I cannot go to my deathbed having thousands of people murdered because of me, because I didn't say anything. So she said she called her attorney to have her attorney call the police. And her attorney was not answering the phone, was not returning her phone calls. And she finally said in the last phone call, I just screamed at him. And said, I'm not going to have this on my conscience. You need to call the police. She said one night, police showed up at her house, and she said it was like 10 cop cars rolled up on her. She's sitting on her porch, and she is just so emotionally grateful that they are there. She's like, thank God, somebody's going to help me. Somebody's going to help me. They're going to stop him. People are going to live. They're not going to die. What do these fucking police do? They commit her. It is easier for the police to believe a woman is crazy and hysterical instead of that guy's got a bomb over there.
Checking into anything that she said.
Yep. Nope. Not one thing. They did not believe her for a half a second. Not even.
Well, I think she said they did go look at his house, but they knocked on his door and he didn't answer. So they were like, you're suicidal, aren't you? And she's like, I'm not suicidal.
What are you
He's
talking
going
about?
to kill people.
Yeah. Nope.
Well, he didn't answer the door.
Yeah.
And his entire house is covered in cameras.
Yeah.
So he sees them coming and goes, I'm not leaving my house.
Right.
He
I'm
had
ready to
so
talk to the
many
police.
burglar alarms.
Burglar.
Burglar alarms.
Yeah. And so this idiot FBI agent comes back on and says, sorry, what do you want us to do?
It's not illegal to say that Obama is a lizard.
Right. We don't just kick down doors of people without a warrant, go into their house and arrest them. I'm sorry, but you did that to somebody called Breonna Taylor, and you shot
all
her.
the fucking time.
You shot her while she slept on her couch in her own home. You kicked in her door and you shot her. So no, sir, the police do this all the time. I don't know what fantasy world you're living in, dude, but no. So they didn't believe her. It was easier for them to blame her. And he was like, sorry, I can't do anything. If he had shown up at the door, or if we had a warrant, or we knew he was making a bomb, we could have done something.
Right.
I've never wanted to just throw my television so violently before. Are you kidding? You did know, because you had someone telling you that.
He was also very smug.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because people died. I don't know. Fuck
What?
this guy. But anyway.
So Pamela gets out. They release her from the hospital. And then Tony starts sending her text messages. She's like, how the hell does he know I'm out? How does he know what's going on? Apparently, he has a keep fob to her house for the burglar alarm that she didn't know, that he's been going in and out of her house. And so she gets very scared. She's like, I can either sit here and wait for him to come kill me, or I can
Well, because
leave.
he's leaving signs, like
Yeah.
Hershey's Kisses in different places in her house to
Yeah.
make sure that she knows that he was in her house.
Yeah. Not okay. So she's like, I picked up and left. I bought a mobile home, so he couldn't trace me. So there was no property ownership, no sale of land, and had no idea where I was. And I just kind of waited. And she said Christmas Day, that's when she saw it on the news, and they go back to showing us the 911 calls. And this made me violent too. Made me violent watching this on-body video of these idiot police officers walking downtown, listening to this recording. The incompetence of this police department is astounding. Astounding that they took none of this seriously. None of it. You see their on-body video. They're walking downtown and they're like, yeah, that's weird. You hear that? That's weird. You can hear the recording on their video.
All over the streets that evacuate the area.
Yep.
There's about to be an explosion.
Yeah.
I mean,
what?
Tony warned everyone. Tony's a monster, but he warned everybody that he's going to kill them.
Yeah, and these police officers are just like dirt, walking down the street going, oh, that's weird. It's weird. What's going on? What do you think? And the officer, they come up to the RV, and the officer's like, yeah, that's parked right in front of that AT&T transmitting building that, has the entire area of cell phone lines. That's kind of weird that it's parked right there. Sir, do you have a brain? Like, I just can't. So the next thing you see is the CCTV video of this horrendous explosion, of the RV exploding in front of this building.
The whole street.
Yep.
Gone.
And there's more 911 calling in saying, my building exploded, my building's collapsing, there's people, and there's just chaos. More on-body videos of these incompetent police officers going, oh, now you should probably leave. Now you should leave. It was absurd. I was just so upset that these police officers were that stupid and didn't take any of this seriously. So Pamela sees it on the TV, and she sees that the FBI have put like this hotline, and the police put a hotline. She's like, I'm not calling them. I don't trust them. They're not going to believe me. She finally does call them later that evening.
Because she's also terrified.
Yeah.
Because she knew that this was going to happen.
Yep. Yeah.
Poor Pamela.
They show up at her door the next morning, and that night they put it on TV, the news coverage, that the FBI has identified Tony as the lone bomber, and they identified him from a hat and a glove that they found with his DNA. Not giving her any credit, not saying this woman tried to save lives, none of that. I don't have any idea if they had hat and gloves. I think it was fabricated. I think it was all lies. Because they are not about to say out loud that this woman knew over here and we did nothing. They're not going to admit to that. It was ridiculous. So then after her phone call and they identify him, then the news coverage has a copy of her police report that she had made in 2019. And the police are coming out saying she's a crazy ex-girlfriend. She was suicidal. She made this phone call in 2019 and she was committed. And she was like, I was never his girlfriend. I was never suicidal. I'm not crazy. And so the police completely threw her under the bus. Totally. Completely threw her under the bus. Instead of saying this woman tried to save lives and we didn't listen to her. It was so hard. She was sobbing and crying, trying to get out the words, talking about.
Because I think she feels guilt still too.
Yeah.
Which is horrific.
Yeah. Yeah. at the end, they have these takeaways, right? For, I guess, what you can learn, right? When you have something like this, whatever it is, are you going to be like Bishopville, South Carolina, where you embrace the idea and you circle around the person and you have a friggin' parade every year?
Yeah.
About the lizard man story, and you make money for your little town. And this woman they interviewed, she's like, why wouldn't we do this? It's fun. We need some fun, and we're getting money for our town. And who cares if it's real or not? We don't care. We want you to come here and spend money and watch our parade and do all of these fun things and buy this merchandise and all of these things. Or you can be like Tony or Matthew or Bucky and commit murder and kill people because you believe in it. And, like I said before, the internet was supposed to be this promise of information, and it's this huge disinformation now, where you can't kind of get away from it anymore. You have to really do your research and or be careful of what you're looking at or reading or watching. He says, the professor says there's this apocalyptic attitude that this enemy is out there.
Yeah.
And he said Pizzagate is an example of it. And you said QAnon, that's an example of it. I really liked that term, apocalyptic attitude, also, because that's exactly what we're going through right now is this weird mini apocalypse.
Well, there was just the rapture was supposed to hit last month.
Right.
And we missed it.
Yeah.
Missed out on that.
They show us another news story of a man in Washington State was shown waving an AK-47 around and saying he had a conversation with Donald Trump. And he needed Donald Trump told this man to go after lizard people. I mean, that's what's going on right now outside.
I mean, completely losing touch with reality.
Yeah.
And the internet is giving credence for some people. I mean, some people are finding this and going, here's my evidence. It's like, do your own research. Well, I researched it and I found this on the internet. And it's like, whoever wrote a story and went, see, here's proof because this other person. Like, ugh.
Right.
Did you know that there's also a lizard people hub in the Denver airport?
No. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What?
So Denver airport, which I know you've been there, is like kind of famous because they have a ton of underground tunnels that they built into the airport, right? And so that is one of the places, and because it's an airport, it's a hub for all of this, that's where a lot of the lizard people who are in charge of our government and just the world in general, that's their hubs. So it's either that's where their home is, deep in those tunnels, and that's where they work out of, or that's at least where their secret bunkers are. So when the apocalypse does happen, that's where they're going to go.
Oh my God.
And it's one of those things that there have been, I found a term, conspiracy terrorist.
Oh, yes.
They have a whole unit of the security at Denver airport is specifically conspiracy terrorist focused.
Yeah.
Because that is a problem. But also Denver airport, much like Bishopville, has leaned into it.
Yeah.
They will have like alien theme or like lizard theme, like little events, like for marketing and publicity. And they also will occasionally do special tours of their tunnels.
Wow. That's
based
incredible.
on this. Yeah. So a little bit of both at the Denver airport. And it's one of the signals is, I guess Denver Airport has their like weird Bronco sculpture.
Okay.
But people say that it looks like a demon.
Oh.
And it's like a flagging down the lizard people.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to look up some more stories and I found 2 more. There was a gentleman in 2016 who was arrested. Thank God he didn't do anything, but he was arrested for a terrorism plot in Illinois. He attempted to detonate what he thought was a 1,000-pound car bomb in downtown Chicago because he wanted to clear Chicago of lizard people. And then they showed us another news story of an 18-year-old man that stabbed his dad 20 times.
Oh.
That man's name was Isaiah Gentry. So he hit his dad in the head with a statue to get him to go down and then stabbed him 20 times. The kid was 18. Like, this is, again, prolific and horrendous, that the theory that you believe it would lead you to so deeply believe that you're looking at
your own family.
Your own family. Yeah, no, it was very, very sad. It's a very good, quick, short documentary. It's worth watching. I really liked it. But it's a little triggering. I was worried about you watching this because of what's going on now. And it's a little triggering if you can't really want to hear about politics,
I think it's just another, like, I don't know why everyone's so into doing their own research and following these like rabbit holes of misinformation. Yeah. And it's like, I get like wanting to feel like there's like you have some knowledge that's going to help you feel more secure in the universe. Yeah. But this isn't helpful at all. And it's the same thing with these algorithms where you had said like that one kid had started looking at just like weightlifting and workout stuff and then ends up down this like weird rabbit hole pipeline of this. And the internet is such a dangerous place for lonely people. Yeah. Because it's just all of it. Yeah. But I think it also says a lot about you if you start to see one of these conspiracy theories and you go, oh my God, Obama is a lizard person, instead of we should start printing t-shirts. Maybe, the difference there, like, right. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks real hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. I hope this evolves into eventually some good that we figure out, but I don't feel super hopeful about that. But also I don't believe in lizard people, so I've got that going for me. Me too. I absolutely don't believe in it, though I do get very excited with the stories that my husband will bring home from the people he works with that believe in the lizard people. So those are fun to hear. But yeah, I don't know. I think that there's something really magical about Steve, that he can still work in a respectful way. Is it magical? I don't know that that's the right word. It's impressive. It needs to be done. It needs to be done. Yeah, that's true. Somebody's got to do it, and Steve is doing it better than I could. Yeah. I know. Good for Steve. I know. Next week we'll have another scary story. I looked up, there was one about a witch, and there's another one about apparently ghosts killing people. So I want to look in those two, see which one we'll do next week. I know. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Yeah. And then we'll see what other internet witchy things we can go into. Yes. I was trying to find a psychic to talk to my cat, but that is expensive. Oh. It's like $200 a cat. And they're doing it. Oh my God. Okay. What? I know that we've already been talking for over 2.5 hours.
Yes.
But let me tell you about, there was a story that I think went kind of viral last week. And it was about this medium. And I looked her up because I was like, I need her to talk to my cat.
Yeah.
I have 6. And if I was going to have them talk to one of my cats, I kind of want them to talk to my cat, Max, who hates me.
Okay.
Because I know all my other cats love me. I want to know why he doesn't like me. Because I am needy. And she's telling this story about, she's like, I got permission from the owner. The owner was like, I need you to talk to my cat. And she connected with the process is the owner goes, hey, I want you to connect with my cat. And she's like, okay, sometime within the next 3 to 4 weeks, I will be connecting with your pet. I will send you a video of me connecting. I'll send you all of my notes from when I'm connecting, and we can and then we can talk about it for like an hour, something like that. And so she's sitting there and she's trying to connect with this cat, and the cat is like, yeah, I'm evil.
Oh.
I'm a bad person. I'm a bad cat, and I don't even care.
Oh.
And I love my owner, but I also hate my owner because she's a piece of shit. She makes terrible decisions. She smells. She doesn't wash enough.
What?
She smells disgusting. She brought in this other cat, nice enough cat. Cat's an idiot, and I hate it, and I'm going to try and kill it. And I don't care if their lives are miserable. And she was like, the energy was so dark and so bad, and it was just really horrible. And so she had to like disconnect. And then she was like, that couldn't have been right. And so she connected again, and the cat was like, you again. Like, why are you talking to me? And she's like, your owner wants to. She's like, my owner is a piece of shit, and she makes all of these terrible decisions. She's doing this dumb stuff again. And it was just this awful reading. And then she was like, how do I tell the owner that I've had this horrible reading? And she's like, the cat was like, I think I'm a demon. And so then she like reaches out to the woman, and she's like, okay, so you send like the name of the cat and a picture of the cat. And she's like, so I tried to connect to your cat, and I'm really uncomfortable, but it was really bad. And the woman was like, no, that makes sense. Tell me about it. And she's like, the cat thinks that it's a demon. She's like, no, we call it demon cat. And she's like, okay. She said that the cat says that you smell really bad and that you need to bathe more. And she's like, I'm a nurse. I bathe twice a day, but it's because I work in palliative care. So everything I smell, I'm going to smell bad from work. That makes sense. She's like, okay. She keeps saying that you make really terrible decisions, that you started making terrible decisions again. She's like, yeah, I have a gambling addiction and I've relapsed real bad. And the cat's like told her all this. I just thought that was amazing.
That is incredible.
Isn't that incredible?
That's incredible. I would give you half of that to get you to read it.
Well, my cat's not going to say that.
Support you. Your cat's not going to say that? What's your cat going to say? How needy you are?
No, Max has just had some trauma. Okay, so Max is one of 2 brother cats that I have. They were the first cats that we got. And Finn is a tuxedo, and Finn and my son Sam are best friends. They love each other so much. It's so cute. And then I got jealous of that because I wanted the cat to like me. And so then I got his brother. I was like, does he have a brother? And the rescue lady was like, yes, he does. I'll bring him to you. And she literally brought him Christmas Eve to us. And they were sweet and like, but a little bit shy, but they had been found with all of their brothers and sisters. I think it was like 11 cats. They found in this hoarder's home in Orlando, and the hoarder died in the home. And so the cats were trapped in this house for like a while with them. So I'm like, what shit did they see? And Max has always been a little bit skittish, but then I know why he hates me. It's because I was giving them flea and tick medicine. You have to get special flea meds here in Florida because the fleas in Florida do not fuck around. It's so much worse than anywhere else. And I needed to get flea and tick, even though my cats are inside cats. Yeah. They will still get fleas in my home that doesn't have fleas. That's how crazy it is. So I had jumped on him once because I'd been chasing them around the house and I got too zealous and I jumped on him and I got his medicine on, but I scared him and it's been like 3.5, 4 years and he hasn't forgiven me. So I would like to communicate through a medium to my cat to see if maybe they could express to these cats that I am trying to be on their friend. But then I do talk a lot of shit. Like, Because they're being pussy-ass bitches and not just letting me pet them.
Mm.
That's all I want. I give them the treats. I get the special food.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he wants. He's got his atrium jungle. Fuck that cat. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
Okay.
I'm mad all over again.
You change your mind, I'll Venmo you. So, yeah.
That's why I have 6 cats, is because the cats keep liking other people in my family.
Oops.
And I take it really personally.
Okay.
It wasn't until I got a cat that had full-on brain damage
Yes.
that was all mine.
Mm. Well,
Is there something broken inside me? Not broken enough to believe in lizard people.
Amazing.
Amazing. All right. Well,
amazing.
thank you for listening to my cat story.
You are welcome, and that was fantastic. Again, I will go into my own back pocket to fund that. I want to hear all about it.
Oh, all right. Well, I love you.
I love you.
I'm loving the spooky season
Yeah.
direction we're doing right now.
Yeah,
It's
me
really
too.
enjoyable to me. And we will be back next week, people.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.